Hello everyone, Tactical Itch here. Welcome back. It's been a long while. It's been like, yeah, I think it's been over 2 months. Yeah, it's been over 2 months since I last streamed. Yeah, I was doing a little bit of traveling, visiting family, spending time with them. So I was away from Total Warhammer for quite a while. But apparently, while I was away, the meta of the game doesn't seem to have a lot of changes. So yeah, I guess we will jump back in on this new player 20, partly to cast this event hosted by the RTK clan, and big shout out to Big JP for inviting me to cast this tournament. Really appreciate the support, and yeah, the replays aren't coming in just yet because the tournament just started, so we are not checking out the replays until those save files were in. Before that, I will be going on to the ranked multiplayer and try to do a bit of warm-up myself, since I have not been playing the game much. Yeah. While we wait for the players to send in their replay files. I hope everyone's doing alright. And I hope everyone's having fun with the current meta. I heard there is a little bit of changes to some of the Cohen cavalry and seekers and whatnot, making them more effective in battle. And apparently, Lizardman Cohen cavalry is actually good, which is something I was not expecting at all. Either ways, let's play some Lizardman actually and see what happens. Yeah, while the players are still duking it out, oh shit, let me know if it's been, it's been a, it's been a while since I, actually streamed, so, let me know if there's any technical difficulties, because if there is, I might have to spend some time fixing it, but yeah. Alright, let's go in to the let's go into lock in on our Lizardman race just to try out the Colt 1 cavalry. Perhaps we can try out the Horn one. But yeah, oh man, my micro is gonna be so rusty now. Again, I have not touched the game for weeks. I mean, I played a couple games here and there while I was away, but definitely not something. I wouldn't say I'm prepared for anything here. Anyways, let's just get some Colon Sphere Riders. Get 4 of them. Apparently they're good, so let's try them out, right? Hopefully let's get less of them. And we just get a ton of skinks. And let's just Kings. Not you, Mazamundi. Get Horn 1. All right. You know what? Let's get 10 in Horn and just put him on a Horn 1. And what else can we? Let's just do. That's not gonna be Flock of Doom and Flock of Doom, and well, yeah, let's just do Impenetrable Pelt. Cause oh wait, no, Curse of One Rare. That would be nice. Stand your ground. Arcane Conduit and Wild Heart. I'll take these. Ground here, and let's just spam skinks. Right. 4. It is gonna be. Oh no, I was gonna say it's gonna be a skink army. Let's not do that. Ooh, Chameleon Skink. And I'm out of money. Yeah, I guess that will do. Have some money left, which I have no idea what to spend it on. Yeah, I have no idea if this build even gonna work, but let's see. Auto? Nah. Salamander Hunting Pack is just gonna get obliterated. Oh, Umbro Tide might be nice. Let's just do that. Hold on, is it gonna be worth it to just bring a couple of stalkers and ambush the enemy backline? Would be funny. Would be funny for sure to do that. Actually, you know what? That and then that and how do I squeeze out another 300 gold? That is the real question. Our opponent is being very, very patient, which I really appreciate. What what are we gonna do here? Whatever. Let's just do that, and yeah, let's go. But yeah, let's do a little bit of warm up and try to get back in shape for the Warhammer multiplayer. It's been a while, and this stream was actually unplanned, kind of out of the blue, because I myself wasn't planning on streaming in these couple weeks. But apparently, Big JP's event needed caster, and I'm also free, and I was like, might as well just take this event as an opportunity to get back in shape, to rehabilitate myself from the break, and try to get better at the game. All right, let's just go in with the oh shit! What the fuck? Sorry, I think I have a little bit of screen. Give me a sec. Give me a second. I need to cut the stream off for. Okay, I hope we're back. Are we back? No, we're back. Yeah, I have to change the settings up a bit. I realize I've got some settings messed up, which is why you might see some weird black space on the screen. But I think it should be fine now. We shall see. All right, ton of skinks, skinky boys, and yeah, I'm just spamming skinks now, and hopefully they'll do the trick. If not, I'm kind of screwed. But whatever. Let's just leave them at the back and cold. We have some cold ones there, ready to pounce on enemy archers and whatnot, or just countercharge enemy cavalry. We shall see. All right, cool. Then we have a lot of skink skirmishers, which they'll probably need some support from the cold. I don't even know if this build is gonna work here, but we shall try our best. It's been a while, so my micro is probably gonna be embarrassingly rusty, but that's the point of this battle right now. We're supposed to be streaming a tournament, but of course the replays are still we're still waiting on the replays to be sent in. So yeah, we are just gonna chill here for a bit. Oh, actually, just do some self-promotion elsewhere as well. All right. Okay. Let's just get that set up, and we're kind of on a timer here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and click ready, I think. All right, we're rushing. I don't even know if this is gonna work against what else, but whatever. Oh shit, I forgot to. I totally forgot to do all these control group thingies. Alright, let's go. Oh, look at the war dances. They're ready. They're so ready. Alright. Alright. We're just gonna have to eat those shots in our faces. Is Not the worst thing in the world, I guess, but whatever. Oh, the corner camping is on! Alright, let's go. Alright, that's fine, that's fine. We're trading some shots here and there. Wait, no, they're not corner camping. Okay, that's fine. Alright, we dodged that. That's fine. Okay, we keep shooting with them. I don't. Alright, you know what? Just send them in. Alright, we can just keep. We can let them do their thing. Ooh, alright, right. I think we are kind of fucked on that side, so whatever. Alright, these guys have to fall back. Oh no, they're right on the white line! Oh, they're so dead. Oh, well, whatever. Alright, we have some chameleon skins for some reason. We're sent into... Oh, well, whatever. Let's just go in with the melee stuff. You guys can just hang on the side and chill there. They're duking it out. Alright. Send some of them in. We are getting that... Just send out some of the Javis. Start chucking those Javis in. Wear them down. Whittle them down. Alright, let's just get those in as well. You know what? Do an overcast. Here. Get our Alright. We kind of dealt with their Kev. Alright, let's just send those, I guess. Alright. Alright, I think we're sorting it out those. Let's just keep pushing. Alright, let's pull them out and send those guys over. Sneak into the back line that way. Alright, I think we're winning on that one, so we can just call it a day. Alright, I think we got this one. I think we got this one pretty darn well. Alright, let's just go and pull back and start shooting. Just dart them down. I don't really care. Oh, ah! Alright. Let's just keep peppering those war dances. Are they? Yeah, they don't have the missile block chance thingy. Ooh, our front line is a bit screwed. That's fine. Yeah, we'll just have to keep rushing. Are they still... Alright, let's go deal with that while you come over and run down those. Alright, just keep blowing them up. Yeah, just disrupt all their backline and they're still chasing, that's fine. Do we have any forgotten resources? Probably not really. Keep darting them. You know what? Get a recharge. That might help. For sure. Alright. Wouldn't deal with that. Tenhoen, you got another spell coming in. Kill whatever's left in the front line. Alright, Solomon, Bang Pack, you guys fall back. I don't want you guys to die. I think we are quite comfortable, but I'm not sure. I guess the main thing is we have a lot of cavalry left, which comes in really handy in the late game scenario. We do need to deal with the branch raves. Not branch raves, the branches. You know, for a game you were dooming on, this is actually more or less going fine. I think it's, yeah, this battle is doing alright, because Partly also because my opponent wasn't that active in like pushing their front line. I feel like their build is very suboptimal for a multiplayer scenario. They have no and also it doesn't help my opponent that they kind of threw away their calf at the early game. They just kind of sit there, let my Chameleon Skings run up to catch up to them, and then yeah. Yeah, and then wait, hold on. I hope the wait, is the stream going on all right? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Anyways. Okay, I think we're good here. Oh, yeah. But yeah, it doesn't help my opponent that they just kind of threw away the cav early game. Even if he doesn't in for his cav, I think he basically won this by a flux spam. It's just so much. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Oh shit! I kind of left my salamanders out in the wild. Yeah. All right, let's just get those dealt with, and then we are good. I think we're done. Yeah, there's just too much infantry there, and I'm just kind of gonna be rushing down the box. So, yeah. And it's army losses, I think. Done. It's done. Rehab. 0-1. This is like my rehab, that's like my, multiplayer rehab, like trying to get back into shape and all. Yeah. That battle went alright. But yeah, I don't think this is I guess the Starfire Shaft are good against dinos and all that, but I don't know. I don't like War Dancers here. War Dancers might be fine killing skinks and all, but I don't know. Yo, what's good? The game's pretty decent. This game is good, I guess. We had a good game. Managed to beat up some Elgi. I don't know how the lizardmen call the wood elves here. You know, tree huggers, forest people, and all that. Alright, that is a decent first game now that I'm back, and let's see if we have any replay files in the RTK. Oh, yep, we have the first round of the tournament. Today, the turnout is a little bit smaller because we have yeah. And I mean, as much as this is not the most amazing thing for the organizer because of a small turnout, I think that is actually fine for me. Just because I am not that confident in casting a highly competitive game with a lot of participants. Now that I'm like 2 months not touch. Now that I'm kind of out of shape for like 2 months, not touching Warhammer much. So this is like the perfect opportunity for us, for me to get warm up back into the game. Anyways, the army performances wise, the Skinks did alright. Chameleon Skinks did surprisingly well, simply because they were nice pressure onto the Wild Riders, and the Glade Riders, who were a bit mismicroed from our opponent there, needs a little bit more attention to be paid on the flanks, and to make sure those mobility are kept alive and well supported instead of getting caught in isolated engagements. And as a result, because my cavalry were able to catch some of the Wild Riders a little bit out of position, 2 of them were able to get quite a bit of value, and then they were just running down archers and charging down views and whatnot. And Umbral Tide also did well, burning down some trees. As for my opponent there, unfortunately, one of the Wild Riders actually got a good charge onto my Cold One Riders, but yeah, they were just fighting against armored and anti-large opponents and not having the bestest of time. I think Cold Spear Riders are now actually feels better. They used to suck a lot, and I just hate using them, but now they seem to be a little bit better now. Oh, these were dancers. What were they dealing with? Are they just getting shot up by a bunch of? Yeah, that's probably what happened. And yeah, GG to my opponent. And we will be moving on to the first round replays now that we have stuff being sent in. Yeah. Hold on a second. Plays. There we go. But yeah, welcome everyone. We are for those who have not been here earlier, and we're just gonna give you a little bit quick catch up on what's gonna happen on this stream. Of course, this is gonna be the Conquest new player tournament hosted by RTK clan, and specifically Big JP invited me to host this, to cast this tournament. And well, despite being 2 months out of shape, I am very happy that somebody still remember me. So yeah, I'm here to cast this first round of Swiss tournament, and then we should have more rounds coming in, right? Yep, the second round of brackets are up. So we'll go into the first round first. We have in this first game, Boba Chicken. I have no idea who that is on the tournament bracket, so I don't know. Versus Mini Scout. Greenskin versus Dwarves. That is a grudge match, and we have Gorbat Iron Claw. With all, that is gonna be a lot of stat modifiers from these characters. Let's just hop right in. That is a Night Goblin Big Boss, which theoretically should have some really nice supporting abilities. Yes, indeed. Let's just wait a bit before we jump in, because we're on the loading screen. While on the dwarf side, it is gonna be, of course, Floric Iron Bro. It's been a while. It's too much iron here. Iron Claw versus Iron Bro, right? Hold on. Let's just slow down a bit. Thoric Iron Bro versus Gorbat Iron Claw. It is the clash of iron here. For the army builds, the greenskins are going with a bunch of orc boys and Apic loonies in the front line. Apic loonies fanatics, ready to throw in those spinning loons, and behind them a bunch of savage orcs, providing a lot of infantry power, which is kind of concerning. All of these infantry are non-armor piercing, so they might struggle to break through the armored lines of dwarves, especially with the blasting charges that will be coming in. Yes, we are seeing a lot of blasting charges here. Oh, the lightly armored savage orcs are not going to enjoy this. Behind them, a bunch of anti-infantry armor piercing fighting power, Squig Herds, and the Night Goblin Squig Hoppers. They might help a bit in breaching the Dowie defenses, but we shall see. Rusty Ears and the Swamp Things, their terror might be useful against the non-immune to psychology or non-unbreakable dwarves, which seems to be the majority of dwarves here, so we shall see. Also, they reduce enemy melee attack and has armor piercing and good stats too, so they can be pretty good at breaching enemy defenses and all that. But most importantly, I think over here is Gorbat Ironclaw providing a bunch of that buffs. Give me the give me the unit card of Gorbat. Bring in his actual weapon item. I don't think that is that useful on Gorbat, but orcs are the best, providing the weapon damage, and melee attack boost would be very useful to the orc boys. The problem is just they lack armor piercing, so I don't know how much good it is gonna do for them. Probably should have brought more quick herds or something like that, I would say. But anyways, we shall see. Night Goblin Big Boss coming in with the Squig Summon and some more melee attack buffs for Squigs. Squigs only though. So I guess the Squig Hoppers and Squig Herds might be useful with this ability. Where's the spell casting actually? Wait, caster? Alright, caster Orc Shaman here, coming with Earwiggle and Fist of Gore, providing a lot of attack buffs on the field. So this is gonna be a supporting melee stat support core for the greenskins. On the other side, for the Dowie here, a front line of dwarf warriors, second line of miners with blasting charges, a defensive geometry of the Dowie, very classic here. In the center, bolt throwers ready to snipe out enemy big monsters, and the Swamp Things are gonna be in a bit of a trouble, especially with Iron Drakes with their fire damage. Trollhammer torpedoes ready to reduce their regeneration, healing, and exploit their fire weaknesses. Thunders, Grudge Rakers, and Doom Seekers at the back line. Also Grim Dwellers, more Thunders with Grudge Rakers. And we've talked about the leadership of the army. Floric Ironbrow with Rune of Wrath and Ruin and Rune of Slowness. And already the bolt throwers were shooting at the Orc boys. Weird. I mean, leaving a bunch of damage is nice, but they should be shooting at the Swamp Things. Or, well, they can shoot at Gorbet Ironclaw. That is also a very good target. Just to cut off the Serpent's head and also cut off their supporting, the buff stacking. Anyways, Gorbet needs to start moving. He is standing right on the... Wait, is that the edge of the range? Let's see. Yeah, oh, yeah, no. He needs to start moving. He's well in the range of the bolt throwers, so he can't actually back off. But he needs to keep moving to dodge the shots, because right now he's just taking a bunch of free hits and he's down to 2/3 of his HP. The dwarf defensive geometry is doing just fine. Well, they're just waiting for the orcs to come over to them, clash into the wall of metal shields, and then get blasted by the wave of explosions. And you can see they're blowing up some of the Savage Orcs. These Orc boys are getting a heavy hit. More explosives coming in. But some of the Savage Orcs managed to squeeze through the gap in the enemy front line. Very nice over there. Getting onto some of the miners, but they have used up all their blasting charges. Ooh, Squig Herd summons right onto the bolt throwers, but I'm not sure how much good is it going to do them. Ooh. The Dwarf Warriors are taking... wait. Akron's miners are getting shot up by the Rusty Airs, and just a ton of buffs stacking going on the Savage Orcs. All that melee attack, Fist of Gork, and all the other abilities. Here we go, helping them breaching through those Dwarf Warriors, regardless of the armor. Oh, one thing I did forget about is the Savage Orcs do have some pretty decent weapon strength. So even after all that armor, they managed to break through some of these Dwarf Warriors. But they are... Well, one problem with Greenskin is that their leadership is quite flimsy. You can see a lot of these Orc boys are already being routed by the explosives and being pushed back. But with the Wa coming in, the Orcs that are still fighting, they are holding on. Beating up whatever Dowie standing in front of them. Now, Dowie do have a lead on that balance of power, but that's partly because a lot of their balance of power lies in their firepower. Ooh, these Swamp Things are not enjoying this at all. They need to get onto the bolt throwers and not the front line, but they are indeed routing some of these Dwarf Warriors, which is very nice. Ekron's miners, though, they are holding on for now. Oh, never mind, they're going. Doomseekers are there to stop the Swamp Things though, but oh, the Savage Orcs are breaching through the enemy front line. And the miners, some of them are just stacking onto the other Dwarf Warriors and are not actually spreading out to intercept these Savage Orcs, and the Iron Drakes are being silenced. Gorbet Ironclaw is in a bit of a sticky situation. He is beating up Thoric, and of course with the help of the Night Goblin Big Boss on the Squig Hopper. So Thoric is in big trouble, but Gorbet is getting quite low. But it seems that the Greenskins are clawing back. The front line of the Dowie were not able to withstand that wave of green tide. Savage Orcs and the melee attack buffs are coming in just very nice for the Greenskins. And also don't forget about the spinning loons at the early game, just breaching through those tin cans with their anti-armor damage. Now some of the Dwarf Warriors are freed up and they're ready to go back in to help, but I feel like this is a little bit too late. A lot of investment has gone into the bolt throwers and the Grudge Rakers, and the Doomseekers is also very expensive for what they provide, and unfortunately they're not able to hold on in the front line. They're probably... Perhaps if they cut out the Grudge Rakers, those are kind of shit, honestly, with their restrictions to the line of sight. Like, especially there's a shield wall in front of them, they can't fire overhead of their friendly, so a lot of their DPS is quite limited throughout the game. And they're also an expensive unit of missiles, so unfortunately a lot of their potential has gone wasted. And that is going to be GG, as there is not enough to hold on in the front line for the Dowie. Oh no, not the experience, not the chevrons on the miners. No, that's probably enough gold for another miner with blasting charges. That is quite unfortunate there, because throwing in more chevrons on a regular miner doesn't do much. It gives them more melee stats for sure, but that is still not gonna bridge the gap between the miners and something, say, like the savage orcs. That's not just not worth it. You're paying partly also into like, so the cost of the miners are cost of a unit. The upgrade cost of a unit is proportionate to the base cost of the unit. And the base cost of a miner includes the price of the blasting charges. You're paying extra funds to upgrade the miner with blasting charges, but a part of that is not. Part of that are gold for the blasting charges, which and the blasting charges doesn't get any benefit from upgrade. So that was kind of a waste. That was definitely a waste of money, I would say. You're probably better off just saving all that gold. Oh, double silver chevron. That's quite a bit of upgrade too. And just get another miner. And also, you're already throwing in double iron drakes and double bolt thrower. You already have a lot of money in the missiles. Like the thunders with grudge rakers might sound good on paper, but they actually don't do much here. You can see they didn't actually get that much value. If anything, the iron drakes did better than them. Probably having a better time shooting up single entity targets, blasting Gorbet or something like that. And the Dwarf Warriors were not able to hold on against the sheer tide of Savage Orcs boosted by all those attack buffs, especially here we go, right onto the front line. And the Night Goblins, Squig Hoppers, and the Squig Herd did a lot of work here. Let me just jump back in and see what did I miss. Apologies if I missed some details here or there during the cast, because yeah, I'm a bit out of practice, not gonna lie, but yeah. Let's just jump right back in. Curio, you're a boba chicken. Forgot to adjust your Steam. Struggle of using different nicknames. Yeah, I feel you. That's why I just use the same gamer tag all the time now. It's just easier to keep track on everything that way. Especially Toto Tavern extracts your name from your Discord name, so you're kind of stuck with that. Alright, so I totally forgot to look at the Squig Herds and Squig Hoppers, so... Oh, they're just kind of sitting back and there. Oh, the Grudge Rakers are okay, a little bit of mistake. I feel like fanning out the Grudge Rakers, just trying to get it. I can't blame that, because otherwise you can't really get a line of sight here to actually get a shot in. I mean, when they start shooting, they actually do a lot of work, but you only get one round, and then you got tied in melee there. That was unfortunate. Squig Herds and Squig Hoppers got some work done, but quickly repelled. Oh, that's why the Iron Drake got some value here. Just keep shooting at those swamp things and whatnot. But yeah, all the money going into the Grudge Rakers probably could have been spent on a couple of Slayers just to stay close to the missiles and just guard them. And they would do a little bit better fighting off the Squig Hoppers and Squig Herds. And also cut out the Doomseeker, man. And just get some more miners. It probably would have worked better. But yeah, it's an interesting matchup for sure, the Greenskins versus Dowie. And yeah, I'm not quite sure how it favors these days. I am not entirely sure, but yeah, anyways, let's move on to the next round. Next game. All right, Corn versus Inge. Interesting. Wait. I was trying to conjure up some Corn versus Tinge battle knowledge that I had from ages ago. I don't think I've seen this matchup much, but usually with Tinge having so many different options, like their mobility, their missiles, I usually think that it would be a Tinge favor matchup, just because of the options they have, the tactics available to them, to their tools. But we shall see here. Seems like Corn is going with a lot of blood letters. trying to breach enemy front line there, but they do have to be careful. Oh, okay, never mind. I was about to say Siege are gonna have a lot of missiles, but they don't have much horrors today. There's only one unit of pink horrors of Siege, so maybe the Bloodletters will do decently, cleaving through those Marauders and Chaos Warriors. But we shall see. For the army build, Unlucky Spotify versus the Lyle H4. Unlucky Spotify, I assume you're AA Spotify here in the chat. And going with 5 Bloodletters, 4 Furies, and 2 more Blood Beasts of Khorne. I don't know how good they are these days, but we shall see. Leading the army is Scarbrand the Exile, providing only Rage Embodied to keep enemies in the fight or lure them into engagements they don't want to take. In disguise, there the Chaos Furies of Siege already engaging. Oh, and Screamers already engaging with some of the Khorne Furies. These Khorne Furies are moving on over to do a rear charge. Over here, Khorne Furies are charging into Siege Furies, and more Khorne Furies are coming in to provide assistance for the Siege army here, other than the Furies and Screamers. Front line of Marauders, 2 Blue Horrors, 1 Pink Horror. Okay, that's quite a decent chunk of firepower to pepper down the Bloodletters, and some Chaos Warriors of Siege with Halberds protecting. Also, 2 more Flamers of Siege providing. Okay, that is quite a bit of firepower, but I don't know how good Flamers these days are. Their aiming is still a bit wonky all the time when I last played them, so I don't know. In the skies, they're a Chaos Lord of Siege supported by a Chaos Sorcerer of Metal of Siege, Transmutation of Lead, and Plague of Rust to mess with the stats of the Khorne army here. So in the skies there, one of the Khorne Furies is going down, but the other Khorne Fury get a rear charge onto the Siege Fury and also engaging with the Screamers and getting some decent damage done. On the other side, Khorne Furies seems to be taking the upper hand here, doing substantial damage onto the Screamers and Siege Furies. The Chaos Sorcerer of Metal coming in trying to help, and even dropping in a spell of Transmutation of Lead perhaps. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna matter at all, since the Khorne Furies already take a dominant position here. Oh, Scarbrand going all in, balls deep into all these Flamers and Horrors. A great use of the Rage Embodied though, just grabbing all these Flamers and Blue Horrors into that melee fight, and also because all these Siege units are closely packed onto each other, they're all rampage and just lured into the fight at the same time, and also a lot of units are out of position, unable to get a shot onto the Bloodletters. A really nice disruption piece using Scarbrand there, although that does come at the cost of a lot of HP on Scarbrand here. One of the Khorne Furies has gone down that side, and over here with the Chaos Lord help and also the Screamers, the Siege unit has secured the aerial fight on the other side. But right now, it's a mosh pit of stuff here. Halberd Warriors blobbing onto Scarbrand, and all the Blue Horrors, Pink Horrors are also pouring in. Some of the Bloodletters manage to breach through those defenses of the Marauders here, not having a lot of issues, and Blood Beasts are also piling in, hunting down the Flamers. Man, Scarbrand really messed up the formation of Siege a lot. There's really nice disruption here with Scarbrand here, just YOLOing him balls deep into enemy formation, rampaging everyone and luring them into the melee fight. You can see the Pink Horrors didn't even get to fire much, and now they're kind of blobbed up, and Blood Beasts of Khorne are charging in for a rear attack. It'll be so good if there is a Sword of Khorne right here, but unfortunately it is still quite early in the game, not even 3 minutes yet. So yeah. No Sword of Khorne just yet. Oh, one Flamer has gone down. Both Flamers have gone down, actually, with the Blood Beast just hitting them in the face. So, no more Flamers, and the Blue Horrors, Pink Horrors are also all occupied in melee, which is not great for them because they're up against a bunch of Bloodletters who are hacking through those Chaos Warriors with ease with their anti-infantry and armor-piercing attacks. On the flanks, though, the Screamers and the Chaos Lord are trying to take a fight and trying to take over the flanks, but it's getting rough for them. They just don't have any infantry presence at this point. The Marauders are coming back, but overall, losing that initiative in the shooting phase. Why am I? Oh, here's the Sword of Khorne. Here, look at this. Oh, beautiful. both warriors got hit, and also the pink horse got nuked in by that one sword. More than his sword missile, like the ballistic sword ballistic missile. Man, it just feels so satisfying when you see it hit the blob, a juicy blob like that. But yeah. Now I don't even think the locus of aberration matters at all, but whatever. Wait, where does it even come from? Wait, where did... Oh, there was a Blood Reaper in the fray. Okay, makes sense. Actually, that makes sense. If there's a final transmutation, that would be very useful to just nullify enemy spell damage. But that's not useful here because there's no spell damage. But yeah, either ways, I think we can just fast forward this as the Bloodletters are picking this fight very easily. Like, as long as they don't get shot, they're gonna beat everything Siege fielded here. Like, yeah, they can just beat the Marauders, beat the Horrors, and they trade well into the Chaos Warriors of Siege as well. And yeah, unfortunately though, all the units packing so close to each other means that Scarbrand had a really good time. Man, Scarbrand was just really enjoying himself there. Just run straight in and rampage everything. That was a pretty fun tactic too. Yeah, the blue horse weren't able to shoot. I mean, they did some damage, but pink horse did some damage. But overall, I think they did most of their damage by shooting Scarbrand when he YOLO'd himself in there. But after that, they're just stuck in the melee fight for most of the time, and wasn't quite able to earn back their worth. And then everything else just traded poorly into Bloodletters here, and they don't have what it takes to deal with a melee rush like that once the missile component goes completely offline. Yeah, there's just no stopping to the Bloodletters and the Blood Beasts once the missiles were silenced by Scarbrand. You were trolling a bit about that build versus... You like the build versus team, so you bring it most of the time? Well, that is actually pretty nice. Yeah. Now that I've seen the build and how it performed, I mean, the only way Team can really fight this is just to spam blue horse and pink horse and just keep shooting everything. But of course that comes with a prerequisite that the front line can actually delay the build long enough. But yeah, I don't know how else Tinja is gonna deal with Scarbrand YOLOing himself into the middle of the formation. I guess if they bring the Demon Prince, Siege Demon Prince. Oh wait, they can't do that, right? Yeah, they can't do that. I guess if they bring yeah, if they bring shit. Well, what's the legendary demon of Siege? I forgot. It's been a while. But yeah, anyway, so I'll drop into the custom game to check the unit names and whatnot. But overall, the Blood Beast just having a hell of a good time beating up the Flamers in melee and plowing through Marauders and Horrors. But yeah, GG to Spotify. Unlucky Spotify here. Alright, let's just quickly jump back into the Siege scene. Kairos, Fate Weaver, yeah, that's the name. Yeah, if Siege bring Kairos, they probably could stop. They definitely could stop Scarbrand with the Gaze of Fate, and then just blast Scarbrand with everything they have in the backline. But there's no what if here. Every battle is unique, and you might see a different build every single time, even if the same matchup occurs. Alright, next up, Kislev versus Dark Elves. We have a third round of it's up yet? Yep, the third round of bracket is up, and the second round of replays be in. Yeah, the second round of replays are in. All right, let's just cast this last game in the first round. Pasha versus Saturn. All right, so Asha going with Asher going with Kislevite. Anyways, Kislevite going with a front line of armored Corsairs, second line of Corsairs with spears, and some Kislevite warriors on the flanks here, and then behind them at the back there, some things in the woods and Kosovoite dervishes. A lot of mobility here, providing some nice disruption and also interfere enemy flanking attempts. Now, there's one single little Grom here, but I am worried how it's going to perform against the Reaper Bolt Throwers, but we shall see. Leading the army is an Ice Witch of Tempest, providing some spell support, mostly just bombardment though. Hailstorm to bombard enemy formations, especially elves, right? They have a lot of their units, most of their units are in dense formations. So they're gonna be more vulnerable to the bombardment AoE damage. And yeah, that is gonna be it for the army builds here. Really nice balanced army build from the Kislevites here. A front line nice and sturdy, and then a second line of cheaper but still very cost efficient archers, and then some Kislevite warriors on the flanks to protect them, and then a lot of mobility to intercept enemy mobility or just disrupt enemy backline. Now on the other side for the Dark Elves, Saturn, I don't really like this formation. A lot of the units are just very densely packed and are very vulnerable to AoE damage or like artillery bombardment, especially a blocky formation like this. The deeper your formation is, the artillery that comes in from the front will have a better time penetrating your formation and striking all the models through the ranks. Now, if you see the thinner formation here for the armored Corsairs, if an artillery goes through this formation in a straight line, they will go through 4 units, 4 models of the units, and does damage to 4 of them. But if a shot goes through something like this, with 7 rows, it's gonna go through 7 models and does damage 7 times separately. Yeah, does damage separately to each of these models a strike, and it's not great. You can see the artillery already going in and doing some nice damage to the Harganev Executioner. Ooh, it's going with some quite expensive units here. Bleak Swords mix in with a few units of Harganev Executioners, and already feeling the pain of enemy artillery. And the archers are gonna bombard them as well. Dark Shards with shields at the back there, providing some missile block chance while still offering the armor-piercing firepower. They will definitely trade poorly into the dirt cheap Corsairs. But we shall see what happens here. Maybe they can shoot up the armored Corsairs and allow the infantry, especially the Harganev Executioners, to slice through them easier and get to the backline. 1 Reaper Bolt Throwers and 1 Dread Spears leading the army. Loki fell hot. I don't see any caster here. Also, another big mistake from the Dark Elf player, I would say. The unit cost balancing of a roster often already has the kind of has the fact that the roster has access to magic. I mean, wait, let me think. But how should I put it? Actually, you know what? I can think about it later. But anyways, you're still getting winds of magic for your army here, and a spellcaster can utilize that winds of magic. Even for the cost of maybe a couple Bleak Swords, you can utilize that winds of magic and do more damage to your opponent than those couple Bleak Swords would have done. So I would definitely say, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure all other content creators of Total Warhammer would say this. Always bring a caster if your faction has a caster. Like, you're still getting winds of magic, it's just not shown on your UI because you don't have a caster. But you're still getting winds of magic nonetheless, and also your army's cost also takes account into the fact that those units have access to the magic, so you're kind of paying for the magic. Yeah. So unfortunately here, not taking any magic is a bit of a waste. But anyways, Reaper Bolt Throwers are getting the upper hand over the Little Grom here. But as soon as the Corsal firepower starts going in, starts lighting up those Dark Elves, things are going to change here. The Little Grom already did some pretty good damage from afar against enemy infantry, especially leaving a dent on the Harganev Executioners. And now the Harganev Executioners getting welcomed by a volley of lead and arrowhead. And yeah, already down to half health before they can even get into melee. These guys are getting hammered by the little Grom here. Not great at all. Ice Hailstone Bombardment onto the Dark Shards, and because a third mistake I forgot to highlight on the Dark Elf player side is they did not bring any mobility. That means enemy mobility rushing onto your missiles, you have nothing to save them. Infantry might be nearby, but they're really, really slow. So it takes them forever to react and get to these Dark Shards who are a little bit out of position, and all the infantry in front of them died or get pushed back by the enemy pistols and archer fire, and the other infantry are too far to help out these things in the woods. And once the infantry here starts running, the other infantry are too slow to catch up to the enemy mobility, like these things in the woods, who are getting into position to flank around and surround these Dark Shards. The Bleak Swords are standing around, trying to protect the Dark Shards here, but the things in the woods are already on top of the Dark Shards. And they are very well intertwined, and it's very hard for the Dark Shards to pull away and scaff, and then more stuff piling in. Because of warriors, Coast White Dervishes, everything goes in, and yeah, I think that's the end of the Dark Shards. I think we can fast forward here. Unfortunately, it is going to be a quick one, as yeah, friendly fire with the Hailstorm. But yeah, that's going to be army losses here, as everything just kind of breaks in front of the either getting shot to death by pistols and arrows, or getting run down by enemy mobility. Not much to talk about in the post-battle screen, I don't think. But Hailstone Bombardment did some really good damage to the Dark Elves, and then just a hail of bullets and arrows showering on those for Dark Elves. While the investment onto the Hargan of Executioner and Bleak Swords Dark Shards are not quite worth it, as they are just getting bombarded or run down either by the artillery and pistols and arrows, or they are just run down by the enemy mobility with nothing to save them from the fate. That's why you always have a bunch of, even if you can't afford more expensive cavalry, you at least get some cheap mobility there as kind of a quick response forces to intercept enemy mobility and delay them until maybe supporting infantry can come over and help out to bail out those missile troops. As you can see here, no protection for the backline, no mobility protection for the backline means that they are just left to the mercy of the Kislevites, which, well, they have none. Alright, next up, we have the second round of replays, so let me just... Ooh. Some of these third round games are going on quite fast. Let me just quickly drop these replays into the folder so that we can check out the replays here again. And yep. All right, next up, Khorne versus Kislev. Oh wow, Kislev going full mobility. VM Pasha here. Yeah, VM clan do like their kiting play a lot, so I am not too surprised. But unlucky Spotify going with one skull cannon, the Hellforge Bellower, but I don't know. Oh, these are all mobility cavalry chariots. Oh, Hellforge Bellower is gonna have a hard time here because the missile speed is kind of slow, and the accuracy on moving targets is a bit questionable. Especially a lot of the damage potential from the Hellforge Bellower comes from the explosion, the vortex, the AOE damage, and against lower model count, higher HP per model units like horses and chariots, it's not that effective. This is more of an anti-infantry design build, I assume, but it's gonna get shot to death, I feel like. And we might have to watch this in fast forward because this Khorne build, I feel like it's gonna get heavily kited by all those worslets and horse archers. Anyways, what army builds here? Khorne going, Spotify going with a front line. Unlucky Spotify. Not Spotify TM, not that. Yeah. Anyways, unlucky Spotify going with a front line of Marauders and flanked by some Blood Crushers and Skull Crushers. Oh, actually 2 Blood Crushers and 1 Skull Crusher. Getting a slightly more expensive anti-large version of Juggernaut Cavalry. And then some Flesh Hounds in the front line. And Khorne Dogs, Hounds of the Blood Hun, one of them, that actually can heal in melee and also dampens enemy magic prowess. I don't think they silence anything. Yeah, they don't silence. Unfortunate. Yeah, that means the Kislevite will just keep spamming spells with Tempest, I believe. But anyways, Hellforge Bellower, of course, we covered that. And Scarbrand exiled once again, leading the army. On the other side, for the Kislevites here, full mobility. Oh, I feel bad for the Corn army already. As they have nothing really to deal with such a full mobility army like that. I mean, yeah, sure, corn dogs can try to catch up with the enemy cavalry, but there are only 2 corn dogs and a lot of Kislevite cavalry. Some of them the elite Griffin Legion, 2 Griffin Legion, 2 winged lances, 3 horse archers, and 3 more light worslets to just poke enemy with that armor piercing damage. And leading the army, Ice Witch of Tempest with on the Frostworm here, giving the Ice Witch more mobility, more HP, and a bit more melee power. Blizzard and Hailstorm for the damage component. Just getting those AoE damage. I mean, it's corn. Yeah, sure, they might have damage resistance, but damage is damage after all. And you're kiting anyway, so like you're not gonna take any fights in melee. So the other spells aren't gonna be that helpful. This map is Peak Pass, right? The name I kind of forgot the name of the map, but yeah, a lot of hilly terrain, and that means it just screws with the Hellforge Bellowers aiming a lot. And sometimes you see them earlier landing those hits on the slope, or like this. Yep, a lot of the shots going into the slope instead of the actual target there. So wasting some of the precious ammo. And it's not like the Hellforge Bellower can actually recharge it, because I don't think Pasha is gonna give them a chance to go into melee and recharge the ammo at all. Yeah, you can see the Pasha is just kiting. Like, we are on the Conquest battle. Oh, here comes a nice cat though. Scarbrand jumping in and rampaging one of the light worslets, but Pasha managed to get 2 of the 3 worslets out there in time. So only 1 worstlet has been caught and devoured by the flesh skull crushers. But at the same time, the skull crushers are getting poked by all those armor piercing firepower. And on the far side there, some of these blood crushers, flesh hounds, getting isolated here. Winged Lancers ran down one of the flesh hounds here. The blood crushers try to like fight them back, and they're getting some work done. But yeah, nice work from not unlucky Spotify though, dealing with getting one of the light worslets. But over here, seems like the blood crushers are a little bit in over their head, fighting 2 Griffin Legions at once. I mean, they are armor piercing and they're heavily armored themselves, but 2 Griffin Legions are still very scary for the blood crushers to deal with. And yeah, over here though, the Marauders can't really catch up with anything, so they're just gonna stand around the point and wait for the mobility to do the work here. Blood Crushers over here manage to deal with the Winged Lances. They are not the elite like Griffin Legion, so they don't really mind taking on the Winged Lances at all, especially when there's only 1 Winged Lances instead of 2. Hounds of the Blood Hunt just duking it out against the Griffin Legion. Over here, Blood Crushers duking out against Griffin Legion as well, while the Hellforge Bellower is trying to run for their lives. As the Ice Witch is trying to hunt it down. And Scarbrand is duking out against some horse archers. These light worslets can come over and start poking down Scarbrand again. They need to start doing it right now, because Scarbrand might just go back and start hammering the Ice Witch of Tempest. Oh, the Hellforge Bellowers need to get out of dodge. Like, send those Marauders over to help them out, and try to distract the Frostworm from attacking the Hellforge Bellowers, because the Hellforge Bellower is getting lapped pretty damn hard, and even crumbling a bit by all those attacks from the Ice Witch Tempest. Once again crumbling from the rear attack, and over there the Blood Crushers got charged by the Griffin Legion and got finished. Yeah, they were focusing on the Winged Lances, and they got charged by the Griffin Legion, and taking charge is not great, even if you have heavy armor. And Scarbrand coming back. And I think that is gonna be... We can just move on into fast forward here. The Flesh Hounds and the Blood Crushers slowly grinding down the Griffin Legion here. But yeah, at this point you can see the Corn army is mostly out of resources. Like, there's still plenty of ammo for the light worslets, shooting up the Hellforge Bellowers, losing their only ranged presence in the entire army. meaning the horse archers can safely sit back and whittle down the Khorne army without any repercussions. The light war sleds got a little bit mismicroed here, being left out and get caught by the marauders, but they can easily push through all those marauders and run away. While over here, the Griffin Legion are fighting almost to their death here, and grinding down the Blood Crushers and whatnot. But yeah, the Hounds of the Bloodhunt managed to get some decent value. Yeah, getting back their worth here. Chewing through the Winged Lances and Griffin Legion, but there are still some... the main problem are these two light war sleds. They can basically deal with everything on the field. Like, there's some tattered Skullcrushers still on the field here, chasing after the horse archers, and but there's enough ammo on these light war sleds to shoot them up. They're just gonna keep running, and if they need to, if Kislev have to, they can just throw in some horse archers to buy some more time for the light war sleds to run away. And with enough consistent firepower, they manage to whittle down Skullcrushers, and there's still some tattered Blood Crushers here. And while over here, Skybrand managed to catch the Ice Witch. I assume once again a little bit of mismicro on the Kislevite side. Can they bring this back? Can Skybrand take this one back? And oh, looks like they might actually slay the Ice Witch. And the light war sleds are almost out of ammo, as they were a little bit too busy shooting up the Skull Crushers and the Blood Crushers. But yeah, Skybrand is now... one of the light war sled ran out of ammo, but unfortunately the Ice Witch managed to get away. And this might allow the Ice Witch to live, as there is not much left on the Khorne side to finish off the Ice Witch. Now it is just Skybrand and a bunch of Marauders versus everything left on the Kislevite side. Losing the Ice Witch is definitely a painful mistake for the Kislevites here. Losing that magic, losing all those magic to deal with all these Marauders here, but maybe perhaps the light war sleds have enough HP to just keep running through enemy infantry formation, but they can't run through enemy formation if they're Rampage. Very nice use of the Rage Embody from Unlucky Spotify here. Managed to finish off yet another unit of the war sled. Now we have a 600 victory tickets. And we have 2 more minutes to the end of the game. We shall see if that is going to be enough here, as Skybrand jumps in onto the light war sled. This might be a mistake here. Skybrand is surrounded by enemy mobility, getting beaten up. That was so close. Khorne might have had this if they could have kept Skybrand alive, but charging Skybrand head on into enemy surround, Skybrand was very low in HP. That allows the Kislevites to surround and finish off the leadership of Khorne, and leaving only the Marauders here. The Khorne leadership buckles, and very unfortunate there. Skybrand almost had it. That was a pity, but oh man, that was quite a lot closer than I would have imagined. Skybrand took a lot of damage, just eating a bunch of light war sled fire, but very nicely played in the early game. They're catching those light war sleds with the Rage Embodied ability and just keep pushing and pressuring enemy mobility with the Flesh Hounds, with the Juggernaut Cavalry. Unfortunately, they didn't recover their worth here, but overall, it was a good game. It was a good fight. If the Hellforge Bellowers were kept alive a little longer, I think it would have been a much better scenario there. If the Hellforge Bellowers were kept in the middle of a bunch of Marauders instead of being left out to get chased by the Ice Witch, perhaps the game would have ended very differently with a little bit more range pressure on the Khorne side. But man, Skybrand did so much heavy lifting this battle, catching all those cavalry and chariots with the Rage Embodied, and the blood pressures actually did decently against the enemy cavalry here with all the armor piercing attacks. But yeah, overall Griffin Legion is still quite scary, and the poke from the light war sleds is just too painful for Skybrand to deal with. And the Ice Witch got a good catch on the Hellforge Bellowers, and managed to recover a lot of value. A few bad plays, yeah, sure, but I think overall it's still a very good battle from Khorne. GG to both players, and that was a surprisingly good game. Next up, we have Dwarf versus Dark Elves. Actually, do we have a third? Do we have the finals bracket? Two of the three third round games are done, and I think we have a fourth round. So let's just hop on into the Dawi versus Dark Elves. Mini Scout versus Saturn. Going with Mini Scout once again. Going with Thoric. It's the same army build. Highly similar, not entirely the same. We don't see as many chevrons onto these miners, and we have no Iron Drakes, and also we don't see any Doom Seekers, which is I mean, as much as I love the Doom Seekers, I love that unit to bits. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they're cost efficient in most scenarios. Like, the only way to use them really is to go for a Doom Seeker rush. You want to utilize them with their Vanguard deployment ability and try to like just get into the enemy face as soon as possible and start hacking them down with the chain axes. I don't know if they still have the Vanguard deployment though. It's been 2 months. It's been more than 2 months since I last played them. I don't think there's any multiplayer balance changes outside of the Seekers and Cult ones, so I think that's fine. I think, anyways, for the army builds for Mini Scout, front line of Dwarf Warriors are these Longbeards. One Longbeard to provide some encouragement and a very sturdy, a more sturdy centerpiece of the front line. Dwarf Warriors, miners with blasting charges, Akrons miners, and as we said, no Longbeards. No Hammer torpedoes. Instead, we have Bugman's Rangers and Quarrelers, so some crossbow fire, but I feel like Rangers would have worked the same, honestly. They, like, when you think about it, Dark Elves have a bunch of armor-piercing firepower, like the Dark Shards, Reaper Bolt Throwers. So the armor-piercing thing means that the armor on the Quarrelers aren't going to be that useful. And Rangers have a shield anyways. It's the same missile block chance as the Quarrelers anyway, so Rangers would be a more cost-efficient option, slightly cheaper than Quarrelers, and also it has stock, so your opponent can't spot them. Anyways, Bugman Rangers here, very nice with the liquid fortification, and also they're immune to psychology. So I don't think it's much needed. Excuse me, in the matchup against the Dark Elves anyways. Okay, I think I almost got a hiccup there. Anyways, we have a couple of Slayers at the back guarding the double bolt throwers, and once again we have Thunders with Grudge Raker is one of them, the Grim Delvers, and honestly I don't think it's gonna be that useful here either. They're just gonna get peppered by Dark Shards, but we shall see. We shall see. The center point of the map, the capture point is quite far away from the deployment zone on both sides, but the Rookie does have a slightly faster movement, so they might be able to sprint over and capture the point sooner than the Dawi. For the Druchi's army build, we have 3 Black Corsairs, a bunch of Bleak Swords, and some Dark Shards behind. Once again, we're seeing Harganeth Executioners here, and Black Corsairs, and yeah, that's about it. In the skies, Morathi leading the army with Pit of Shades. It's a decent spell against the dwarves if they're blopped up or in a blocky formation with all that armor piercing damage. Soul Blight to reduce enemy armor and weapon damage, mostly for the armor reduction really. And we can see the Druchi are already rushing over to capture the point. Are they going to capture the point, or are they going to just skip it and just rush straight for the enemy formation? Oh, the bolt throwers are already penetrating enemy formation. That's why you don't want to see a blocky formation like that. The missiles will penetrate multiple models and do damage much more efficiently if you have a blocky formation. And now Bugman's Rangers are firing in, peppering down the Black Corsairs. They have 80 armor, which is decent, but still not the most amazing thing. Oh, what happened to Morathi? Did she just get point blank blasted by something? Wait, hold on. The Grudge Rakers are fanning out onto the flanks, so they're not doing anything. Yeah, they're probably just getting... Morathi probably just got shot by a bunch of bolt throwers. Yeah, both units are on her. She's getting... Oh no, the Black Corsairs is getting blasted. Yeah, no. They're so dead. There's still another wave coming in from the Ekron's miners, getting absolutely lit up by the explosion, the dynamite of the miners, and these Black Ark Corsairs already on the verge of routing. Now they're routing. Now Dark Shards are moving in, trying to get close and start peppering down the enemy Ekron's miners. But I don't know if they're going to do it fast enough. And a nice Rune of Wrath and the Ruin from Thoric Iron Brow here, getting some AoE damage done onto the unarmored Bleak Swords. And are still, they're still getting lit up by all those explosions. Oh no. There's still more explosions coming in. I think most, okay, the Ekron's miners are all out of ammo now. There are still some other miners in the fray. And over here, Thunderers are just blasting down the Hargan of Executioners, who did not receive a move in order to go into melee. So they're just standing there and getting shot. Unfortunately, like, this does happen to everyone when they're not familiar with the micro enough yet, and sometimes they are just a little bit slow on controlling some other units. But yeah, another quite common beginner mistake. You see people stacking units like that onto one single enemy target. That means a lot of these units are not... One, they are just all blobbed up, making them perfect target for AoE damage like explosions. And two, a lot of the unit models here, you can see they are not coming into contact with enemy models. And so they're using up... They're still considered being engaged in battle. They're using up that vigor, which will affect their... which will significantly affect their battle performance once they're running out of vigor. And yet, there's expanding vigor without actually getting anything done, because they're just standing there waiting for their turn to attack enemy targets. So, yeah, not great. I mean, a lot of blobbing up going on here, but overall, ooh, these Grim Dwellers are now getting caught out in the open because they are fanned out on the side and with nothing to protect them. But Black Ark Corsairs should be able to cleave through them, but overall, the Dowies are holding on just fine. Just driving back a lot of these Bleak Swords and Dark Shards Black Ark Corsairs with their explosions and all. And now the Quarrelers and Bolt Throwers are just sitting back and safely and just working down the enemy units. Bolt Throwers, for some reason, did really well against enemy infantry. They should not be doing that well. I assume that that's because, partly because of all their extra model count. Honestly, I feel like they're a little bit overtuned. Getting almost 1,000 gold on this one, well over 1,000 gold on the other one. Slayers are duking it out against Black Ark Corsairs. They are not going to enjoy this fight, but then the Black Ark Corsairs are almost dead, so, well, the Black Ark Corsairs are going to die anyways. Well, over here, Slayers holding back enemy Bleak Swords and whatnot, while the Thunderers, the Grudge Rakers here, moved on to the flanks, and just blasting those Bleak Swords to smithereens. Bolts are very good versus infantry low. Man, they're called anti-large, and yet they're using an anti-infantry role very effectively. That, man, I don't know why they had to add so many more models onto the bolt throwers. It makes no sense. I mean, they kind of suck. They used to suck before, but I mean, that doesn't justify giving them all those extra models and making them broken. I mean, not broken, but definitely overtuned. These bolt throwers needs to be tuned down. Anyways, we can fast forward here, as this is I think we're seeing a wrap up phase of the battle. I didn't even see how Marathi died, almost died, probably just getting shot by bolt throwers in the face. But yeah, overall we can fast forward here as Amulos is hit for the Dark Elves. And yeah, a lot of value from the explosions and Rat Rakers who managed to get to the flank on the enemy units and just keep blasting those Harganev Executioners for being forgotten on the flank there. Yeah. Both throwers also got a lot of value. God damn. Why are they good against infantry? It makes no sense. Reduce their penetration, please, CA. God damn it. Yeah, anyways, rant over. We shall move on to the next battle after checking out these army value. But yeah, a lot of infantry trying to rush enemy front line, but a little bit too blobbed up with a lot of the units. And unfortunately not quite able to get an effective flank. Like, a lot of the units are just focusing on the front side of the dwarf. Instead, what could have been done is some of the Bleak Swords maybe and Black Ark Corsairs can be shifted over to the flank and just walk around the enemy front line. You have a lot of melee units here. That's 12 units of melee units. And the enemies have like have a relatively narrow front line with only like 4 units wide, and then 4 or 5 units wide, and then 2 more units on the flank. What could have been done is like send 5 units of Bleak Swords into the front side, maybe a couple more Black Corsairs as well, and then the rest can just go walk around the enemy flank. You can just walk around the enemy defenses and just hit them up at the back. Especially Black Corsairs and Bleak Swords have decent enough speed to just outrun the Dawi and outmaneuver them on the field. And yeah, anyways, that's it for this battle. I think we are on round 4 for the tournament now. While we wait for finals, we have another battle here. We have the Greenskins versus Tinge. Gorbat Ironclaw versus this time Kairos Fate Weaver. It looks like Lyle H4 seems to have a more quite balanced build of Tinge army. On the Greenskin side, though, a lot of firepower. Oh, a lot of Goblin archers and 1 Orc Air Boys. Air Boys. Alright, for the army build here, let's slow down, since we might have some Vanguard shenanigans. Oh, actually, it's not forward Vanguard, it's just deployed very, very far on the side. So, army builds. For the Greenskins, front line of Goblin Spears, second line of Goblin Archers, and 1 Apic Loonings for the spinning loons, and then back up by a bunch of Orc Biggins in case they need to fight anything large like Zandagors. I call them, for those who don't know, I call the Tinge Zandagors Zandagors, just to abbreviate things. And then we have the Orc Air Boys here, and Broken Tusk Mops at the back. More anti-large fighting power, that is. What else? Have Gorbat Ironclaw with of course the big one, Rogue Idol with long range firepower. Gorbat Ironclaw with his support spamming core once again. Let's see. Goblin Big Boss with oh, actually there's no supporting item for the Goblin Hero here. It's just a regular Goblin Big Boss with they need stab in to reduce enemy armor. And let's see what else. Orc Shaman, Fist of Gork, and Gaze of Mork. And then Gorbat Ironclaw with his Orcs Are the Best and Morglor the Mangler weapon. Yeah, I personally don't think that's anything good here for Gorbat, but perhaps he can do some good damage in melee too. Anyways, for the Tinge army here, the Tinge Furies and Tinge Screamers on the ground, Zandagors hidden in the forest. And the main formation, a line of Marauders backed up by some Zangos on the flanks and 2 Blue Horrors, 2 Pink Horrors, and in the skies, Kairos Fate Weaver himself with only blue fire to just spam the hell out of just keep spamming enemy with that single entity targeting damage. Not really direct damage, but like it's good to snipe character, especially for against Greenskins, most of them not having access to any healing whatsoever. Like if Kairos can just keep spamming those blue fire and snipe out Gorbat early, that would be a huge blow to the leadership of the Greenskin. Anyways, the Greenskins needs to rush and try to take out the enemy formation ASAP. Rogue Idol, you shouldn't be throwing rocks at Kairos. He can dodge it very easily. Ooh, I totally forgot about the Gaze of Mark here from the Orc Shaman. Just trying to get some damage done on Kairos, but his Protoss shield blocked most of that. Is that rock actually gonna hit? Nope, nope, nope. It just missed. Oh, actually it scratched Kairos. It actually scratched Kairos and did some damage. Anyways, Goblin Archers are getting in range and are able to get a couple poking shots onto Kairos, but Kairos just kind of stays there and not really care. And now he starts moving again and dodges those rocks. Blue fire onto Broken Tusk Mob. I don't think that's the best idea. Maybe just snipe out either the caster or the Gorbat Ironclaw would be nice. And the big one finally realized his mistake at launching rocks at a flying single entity and decided to launch the rocks at flying non-single entity and actually hit some Furies. And now he's back to throwing at Kairos again and missing. Archers are firing, but yeah, I feel like Greenskins needs to start focusing on pushing the enemy main formation, because these mobility aren't gonna come close to your formation to fight you. what you should do is probably just try to finish this side of the fight ASAP. I mean, shifting all the archers over here aren't gonna help you. I don't think it's gonna do any help here, especially all the archers are now blocked up. If there's a blue fire going straight down the line, it would have been quite nasty. But yeah, there's nothing like that going on. But the problem is that with all the archers out of position and a lot of the units on the other side of the map, there's nothing to stop this tide of marauders from coming in and wrecking these couple goblin spears in melee. With fire support even, so these goblin spears really stands no chance. Kairos and all these mobility are just shifting over to the other side and are just distracting all these archers who are unable to deal with all these pink blue horrors. And with all these frontline units being, after these frontline units being dealt with, there will be less resources being left to protect the air boys at the back, and they're just kind of standing there doing nothing while the frontline gobbles are getting wrecked in melee. I mean, there's some AP loons coming in, and big guns even orc big guns are coming in to wreck some marauders, and they are decent melee fighters. Especially when boosted high. Wow, orcs are the best. All those melee attack buffs, 91 melee attack and 75 weapon strength. They are crapping on all these marauders for sure. But at the back, there's some Tandagors are able to just get a jump on the goblin archers. But there is one unit of orc biggins in position to intercept them and starts hacking down on these Tandagors, taking substantial damage from all these huge weapon strength and on top of that anti-large orc melee fighters. Furies though are able to get on top of the archers now with the sacrifice of the Tandagors there. And blue and pink horrors are able to sit back and just pepper down the enemy units. A nice bombardment, the bolt of change, blasting the broken tusk mob, really working down on their HP right now. Honestly, I feel like the blue fire should be spent on enemy single entity characters, and then bolt of change just to snipe them out. Either kill off the spell support or kill off the leadership. Both would work well against the greenskins. Anyways, the orc air boys are getting disrupted. Goblin archers are getting routed. These furies need to stay on the goblin archers and make sure they don't come back by allies. They are being sent elsewhere to deal with other orc air boys and stuff. Marauders are fighting. Oh, and second Wa coming in from the orcs. They are really getting the fight going. Overall, it's still quite even on both sides, I would say. Balance of Power is saying it's quite even, and it's a bit of a mix of scenarios here. The greenskins are trying to push, but the Tinge army are holding on just fine, and Tinge are getting some of the back line here, but they're also paying quite a dear price. Both of the Tandagors I think are done. One of the Tandagors are still there. The other is just wrecked in melee by a bunch of orc biggins here. But yeah, one unit is still going, but I don't see how Tinge is gonna finish off the big end here if they don't have the pink horrors. I mean, they are securing the pink horrors just fine, so I think they should be able to just hold on long enough and just start focusing fire the rogue idol at some point. But there's also a lot of goblin archers who are not being chased off by furies coming back. Okay, now there are some furies chasing off enemy goblin archers, which is great. I think that's working out fine. Just hunting them down, those enemy archer fire, and making sure that they can't fire back at your pink horse. We'll do a bit of fast forward here as both sides. We're in a little bit of a slow phase here. Both sides are trying to like fight. The fight is all over the place, man. Like both sides have stuff isolated, overextending and isolated from their own main formation, and yeah, it's just this kind of reminds me of Domination, where you have fights happening all over the place. Anyways, Marauders and Furies are coming over to chase down the routed and isolated Goblin Archers. Even the Goblin Big Boss has been routed in the fight of being surrounded by Marauders and stuff. Screamers are trying to surround and do some more damage to the big gun here before it goes down. And oh, that was a big loss for the greenskins here. Losing the Orc Shaman, the only way to fire back at Kairos Fate Weaver. And with the Gates of Mork. No more Gates of Mork, and Kairos can even just jump down and finish off the Orc Shaman here. The big gun will have to try and carry this all by himself, but he's gonna fall under the focus fire of enemy firepower, all the blue horrors, pink horrors, and blue fire. from Kairos is gonna start doing some damage onto him. Gorbat is isolated. He is all alone by himself and is surrounded by enemies. The big end though is carrying hard for the Greenskin here, stomping those Zangors and whatnot. But Gorbat is fighting alone. Another blue fire onto the Orc Biggins. Honestly, again, I feel like it should have been spent on the Gorbat Ironclaw. And the pink Horrifier should be shooting at the Biggin instead. It would be a more efficient use of the ammo. Just because the pink fire, the pink Horrifier doesn't track. So they will have a hard time hitting a small target like Gorbat. But they do have the numbers, the volume, the sheer volume to just do a bit more damage. And also the Warp Flame contact effect, I think, to reduce enemy armor. No, they don't have Warp Flame, never mind. But yeah, you just accumulate damage. They just do some nice damage accumulating on the... Oh, not a lot of armor piercing. Yeah, 5 armor piercing, which is okay. And a big hitbox like the big end would take a lot of shots from the pink core. While the blue fire from Kairos, while it does track, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. So it would be more effective on a unit with a smaller HP pool, like the Gorbat. Definitely a smaller HP pool than the big end for sure. But yeah. Now it is just Gorbat and the big end here fighting back, shoulder to shoulder, back to back. But with the low poke from all these pink horrors slowly whittling down the big end here, it is gonna be army losses as well. There should be a lot of damage coming from the pink horrors here with all the fire accumulating on the big end. All right, let's see. One of the Zandagors, the Zandagor that survived till the late game, ran down a bunch of stuff and got some really good value. Pink Horrors accumulated some really good damage onto the big end there, a very expensive target to hit. And Furies did okay, just running down and chasing off all those goblin archers and whatnot. Some pretty good job there. Marauders did okay. It's not like they have a lot of good fights here. They either were just fighting chaff or fighting something they are not going to win against. The Orc Biggins did some really good damage, beating back a bunch of Marauders and also hunting down the Zandagors there with the Zandagors with the anti-large attacks. I assume they also fought off some Screamers and whatnot, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, the Biggin here tried to carry in the late game. What, 124 kills with Gorbat Ironclaw? That makes no sense. Wait, is it because of the weapon item? Wait, what? 124 kills with Gorbat Ironclaw? That makes no sense. What the hell? He's not a dedicated fighter by any means. And there's no AoE damage ability or item on him. The only explanation is, I guess, the splash damage coming from his melee attacks being boosted by his item. I don't know, man. It's how did he get 124 kills? It makes no sense. Oh well, whatever. But yeah, it is gonna be a siege victory. He's a dedicated fighter now. I mean, he lost, but he did had a very impressive performance in terms of a melee kill count. I don't think I usually even see characters getting 3 digits at all. So yeah, that's pretty impressive, I would say. But yeah. Orc Biggins, unfortunately, despite their great performance here, I don't think they're a great unit. Probably just switch them over to Orc Boar Biggins would have been better. Like, just bring two Orc Boar Biggins instead of 3 Orc Biggins, and then use the extra funds on something else, I guess, yeah. Yeah. Like, I feel like one big mistake here is just separating the army into 2 parts and trying to send over those goblin archers at the back line to to try and push back the enemy mobility. Because that means the goblins in the front line were just left to the mercy of the siege marauders and all the blue horrors firing at them, and they're having a hard time surviving. Like, if the goblin archers are sticking to the front line, They could have returned fire on the blue horse and tried to whittle down their health instead. And the Orc Bagans can just stay at the back line here and just deal with anything that tries to mess with the Goblin Archers and whatnot. But yeah, certainly needed a little bit more mobility than that one lone unit of Broken Tusk Mob, I feel like. Yeah. Ours didn't do a lot of damage, actually. He's just floating around, dropping blue fires here or there, occasionally. Anyways, we have more replay. Wait, is that round 4 done? Well, that might actually be round 4 done, and we might have yeah, we might have finals soon. Anyways, these are round 4 replays, and let me just drop them into play folder. Alright, so 6 games here, and then let me have a final. I don't think we have that yet, so another Khorne versus Khorne Bloodletter spam. One of them, the Exalted Bloodletter. Actually, Exalted Bloodletter is a quite common unit to be brought against the Dawi. They just cut through the dwarf infantry with their elite melee stats and armor piercing, and yeah, using their slightly better armor than your Bloodletter to tank the explosions. Not that it's gonna do a lot of good against the explosions, but it's better than nothing, I guess. Anyways, Bloodletters of Khorne. Where are the Exalted Bloodletters? Oh wait, no, actually, never mind. They don't actually tank anything better than the Bloodletters because they only have 5 more armor, but they do have a little bit more HP. Actually, anyways, I think we might have some duplicate replay, but anyways, for the army builds here, Exalted Bloodletter in the front line, plus Bloodletter in the front line, backed up by 3 whole units of Minotaurs of Khorne in the skies flying around is an Exalted Bloodthirster here. As for the other side, the Dao is boxing, and they're boxing hard. The front line of Dwarf Warriors backed up by Miners. One of them, the Ekrans Miners, a very similar build to previously here. Double Grudge Rakers, one of them... No. Where's the Grim Delvers? No Grim Delvers! 3 Grudge Rakers, 2 Bolt Throwers, and 2 more Slayers guarding the back line. Once again, going very heavily invested in Grudge Rakers. Not saying I agree with that decision, but I do respect the commitment to it. Yeah. Floric Ironbrow leading the army with Rune of Slowness and Rune of Wrath and Ruin. If the Bloodthirster ever dares to get close to the formation, he's gonna get hit by a Rune of Slowness, and he's gonna get slowed down and shot in the face by Grudge Raker. So he has to be careful. But even if he doesn't get close, the Bolt Throwers are already firing at the unleashing those anti-large damage on the Minotaurs here. The Minotaurs are gonna feel the pain. That's why you don't bring monsters against the Dawi. They have so many different missiles to slaughter monsters in so many different ways. These Minotaurs needs to either hide behind trees or just stay the hell out of the range of the enemy missiles here. Bloodletters are getting close. Grudge Rakers are getting tangled up by the Chaos Furies, which is nice. And the Bloodthirster is dropping in, trying to kill off Floric Ironbrow. Now the Grudge Rakers needs to turn around and start lighting up the Exalted Bloodthirster, but they're too distracted by the Furies, who are just running rampant in the backline here. Oh, these are not Slayers. These are not Slayers. These are Doomseekers. I don't know. They're expensive and also draining a lot of resources away from more units. They are very effective fighters, but they're not great at defending because of that. And the Bloodthirster is just chopping up Floric just fine, and the Grudge Rakers are too busy fighting Furies. And in the front line, the Exalted Bloodletters slicing and dicing through all those Dwarf Warriors, and these Bloodletters are just slicing up the Dwarf Warriors just fine with the help of some Minotaurs charging in with their anti-infantry armor-piercing attacks. The Dwarf Warriors might have done some damage to them, but not enough to dissuade them from going into a head-on fight to collect more skulls for their Blood God. And yeah, Bloodletters are now enveloping the enemy front line. It's a complete complete Khorne domination in the front line here. Just breaking through all the miners. Ekron's miner doesn't even able to get a whole volley out just yet. Oh, that is painful. That is indeed very painful. A lot of the explosive potential is gone because the Dwarf Warriors buckled extremely fast due to the Minotaurs and Bloodletters combining their might. And I think that is going to be GG here. Not much to be said. Once again, very nice use of the Lord from Unlucky Spotify there to disrupt the enemy backline, alongside with all the Furies as well. And then the infantry and the monsters follow up to break through the enemy front line, and that is going to be GG. I mean, the balance of power is still saying that Dwarves might have a slight chance of winning, but in a straight-up fight with all these Bloodletters on the field, with only Doomseekers, yeah, the Dowis have doesn't have much chances to take this one back. And yeah, Bloodletters did really well with the Minos combining their arms and just crushing the Dwarf Warriors in a quick instant. Yeah, good damage from the Doomseekers as they were getting some great fights against Minotaurs and Bloodletters and the Bloodthirster and whatnot. But the rest of the army, the Dawi army, wasn't quite able to pull their own weight. Yeah, just kind of died there. The Dwarf Warriors just buckled extremely quick to the Bloodletters and Minos. That was actually buckling much quicker than I thought. Honestly, I didn't expect them to go down that fast. But yeah, anyways, actually, you know what? I want to have a quick look at the. Hold on. This versus team. Have we seen this yet? No, we haven't. Okay. Let me just quickly watch this replay again, just to see how quick the Minos and the Bloodletters ran through the Dawi front line. I'm just a bit curious. Okay, so missiles starting to poke at the Minos and whatnot, just not doing a whole lot of damage. I feel like they probably would have done more damage if they were shooting at the Bloodletters if they have the same performance as we saw in the game versus the Dark Elves. But yeah, Bloodletters charging into the Dwarf Warriors, but the Ekron's mines, oh no! They were distracted by the Exalted Bloodthirster, and we're not aiming, and we're not readying up to aim at the Bloodletters and whatnot. Ah, that's probably, oh no. That's probably why you want your units to be on guard mode, because they wouldn't turn around and try to hit something that walks into their range. And they'll just stay there, sit there, and watch the zone they're guarding. And yeah, the Dwarf Warriors get charged by the Bloodletters and charged by the Minos, and the Minos just plow straight, push straight through the Dawi and get into the miners and prevent them from using any more of their explosive charges. These guys managed to get out their explosive charges on this end and did a bit more damage, but even still not enough to actually turn around the tide against all these exploded Bloodletters. And with the Grudge Rakers all occupied by Furies and the Bloodthirster, there's little hope for the Dawis to turn this one around, as their missiles were just not able to do any damage. And even if they were able to reorganize, they were not. Yeah, they need to stand around and start shooting at the Minotaurs, but the Bloodthirster is not giving them the chance. Doomseeker start getting some decent value over this side, but yeah, it is not great for the Dawi. Not a great day for the Dawi. Alright, Scene versus Dark Elves. Wait, actually we need to see if we jump in. Actually, let's see if any of the semi-finalists have a spectator slot. Because we might be able to get one of the semi-finals live if we want to. But we shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Alright, one of them has a spectator slot ready. So I'm just gonna go over there. And spectate. Fucker. There we go. On unlucky. Oh wait, actually we don't act. I don't even think we need a scoreboard. It's a best of one anyway, so we're just gonna have the screen blocker up. And it's unlucky Spotify with Korn versus Teen from Lyle H4. Oh shit, I'm getting a bit hungry. So after casting the finals, I think I'm gonna take a few minutes break. Just to eat a snack, and then we'll finish the rest of the replays. Alright, looks like we have the players ready. And once again, we're seeing blood letter spam. 5 of them this time. Ooh, 2 blood beasts and 2 furies plus a fist of Korn's bloody fist. And an exalted bloodthirster leading the army. But on the other side, Kairos Fate Weaver. Going with a more kitey build this time with a few Marauder Horsemen and Flamers once again. I don't know if the Flamers... Somebody dropped. I hope it's not me. Yep, I'm still in the lobby, so I assume Lyle H4 dropped, unfortunately. And yeah, I think we just have to wait now. Oh. Wrong map? Okay. I don't think we need to set a blocker again, because both players should bring the same army back in. Alright, we wait. Okay, what is the map for this battle? I don't see anything. So I'll just have to look. Alright, looks like we have the wrong map, and Lyle H4 panicked a bit and just quitted. But yeah, it's gonna be fine. They just need to rejoin the lobby and it should be fine. We do need to change. I don't know if we're still on the right map though. So Spotify, I don't know if you're listening. I think you're the host of the lobby now. So, could you please make sure we have the right map? All right, cool. Sovereign Chaos Waste. Let's. Yeah, I'm glad we're taking one of the replays in on live casting, because Sovereign Chaos Waste is a buggy map. Like sometimes sometimes the replay stutters because of the map. It just happens. I don't think there's any fix to it yet. But yeah, anyways, see if we. Yeah, I think it's the same army. I think. Let me just check. Oh, we're seeing a change bringer. Yep, I think that's the same army build. All right, we're good. So army builds. Khorne is gonna get kited here. We covered Khorne's army with bloodletters, 5 bloodletters, 2 blood beasts, and 2 furies, 2 bloodthirster, 1 exalted, 1 Khorne's bloody fist regiment of renown. Yeah, Khorne's bloody fist, and on the other side for the Khorne's bloody fist, I think they have to go into melee. Oh wait, no, large enemy presence in ability range for a 10% damage resistance. Fire damage, magic attacks, anti-large, and very strong melee power, but Siege is not gonna let them, or at least will try to avoid melee at all costs. Going for a full mobility army here with a lot of kiting prowess. Oh, Khorne's still getting kited in this battle. 4 Marauder Horsemen of Siege, 4 Furies, 1 Changebringer in the sky, Kairos once again, bringing in blue fire and blue fire only to, well, kite. And mobility-wise, 2 mobility melee presence on the ground, 2 Tentacles and 1 Chaos Knights of Siege. That's it for the army builds, and now, yeah, we wait for the players to start. Yeah, this Khorne army is gonna get kited so hard. I'm not looking forward to. I'm not gonna enjoy being the Khorne army in this scenario here. All the javelins throwing at them. And especially all your stuff here is light armored, so they're just gonna take full damage from all these javies. Even if you're a demon with physical resistance, well, this is teams you're talking about. The whole army has magic attacks, so yeah, they are pretty screwed. And also warp flame to add 10% weakness to fire damage to all these flaming missiles, which is not great. But yeah, we're done with the army builds. We wait for the players to start. Yep, I am spectating indeed. I didn't realize there's a logo at the corner, icon at the corner to tell people they're spectating. Oh, what no? This thing? All right, we wait. I think one of them is ready. Maybe I heard a audio cue. Not sure. Yep, yeah, both players are ready. And Khorne immediately tries to rush forward, but they're just gonna get kited. It's gonna be painful. It's gonna be painful for Khorne. Oh no. But yeah, one thing that Khorne might be able to do is just try to pressure the enemies with their single entities here. But try to bait out all the javelins and force the enemy to run out of javis. But yeah, these bloodletters of Khorne are just gonna get kited and whittled down by all the javelins, and Khorne will be running out of either infantry or melee units. But Furies are trying to catch up. Blue fire from Kairos here, and double Furies from Siege, and try. Oh, they're even jumping onto the Blood Beast. That makes That doesn't make a lot of sense. You don't really want to pick a fight with them. I guess they have a lot of mobility. The double Zanagors and the Khorne Knights with lances. They all charge onto the Blood Beast of Khorne. Oh, and the Blood Beast countercharge was mostly absorbed by all the Protoss shield. Oh, yeah, the Blood Beasts are getting mulched by the mobility fist of the Siege army. Yeah, that's gonna be painful. And Furies over here are getting hacked down by a combination of Bloodletters and Blood Beasts, but at least they got a win in the skies and took down a Khorne Fury, I think. And over here, oh, was there? Yeah, the Bloodletters are still getting kited by Javelin, so not much to talk about that. Over here though, the Bloodthirster, Exalted Bloodthirster, and the Khorne's Bloody Fist are able to get in the melee fight and start just hacking down Chaos Knights of Siege and Bandagors as well. Javelins, though, they are the key to this battle. Kept alive at all costs and just keep working down enemy. Enemy health. Oh, Changebringers, I forgot about them actually. Are now burning through all these Bloodletters. Half health gone from the Bloodletters. Very devastating damage. And now the unit of Khorne Fury's dead. So Khorne's only aerial presence left are the double single entities who are too busy fighting enemy cavalry on the other side of the world. So the Chainbringers and the Furies and the Javis of the Marauders are free to do whatever they want, just roaming the battlefield. Though the Changebringers need to pick better target, they need to go for a stationary and more blobbed up target so that their flames can have a more effective contact onto the enemy formation. Because right now you can see a lot of their AoE damage are not hitting things. They need to be hitting blobs of stuff. Like these more bunch of Bloodletters would be a better target. But yeah. Or they can just fly over and while Khorne's Bloody Fist and the Exalted Bloodthirster are kind of occupied on the other side of the world, well, they can just keep burning them down with the burst damage. But yeah, they are almost out of ammo. But they already did a lot of damage to the enemy Bloodletters. 71 models killed and a lot of HP damage as well. Almost earning back their worth. They need a couple more volleys perhaps on some blobbed up Bloodletters. And there are still more kiting happening right now. Murder Horsemen just whittling down these poor Bloodletters who can't catch up to these fast, swift and agile horsemen. The only problem is that Kairos is kind of forgotten on the side here. Oh no! Just getting double teamed by the double Bloodthirsters. I mean, Kairos might be the greatest demon of Tinge, but he's not a melee fighter at all. Only 20 melee defense. Yeah, he needs to run the hell away from there. And not taking the Gaze of Fate might make him pay this ultimate price. Anyways, Tandagors are now trying to like pick off enemy infantry. Same goes for the Changebringers on the other side. A lot of kiting still going on. Man, the Marauder Horseman needs to start conserving ammo though, because they are the best bet for Siege to take down the double Thirster. Oh no! Oh no! Lyle, Doggy! Doggy is Lyle H4's Discord tag, so I'm just gonna call him Doggy. I think that's probably the more accurate name anyways. Doggy, run! Kairos needs to get the hell out of dodge. Get the hell away from the double Bloodthirster. Otherwise, Khorne's Bloody Fist is gonna deliver some very bloody fisting to this two-headed bird. Okay, blue fire onto the Exalted Bloodthirster. Weird stuff. Hitting the Exalted Bloodthirster in the sky, but leaving scorch marks on the ground. That is kind of weird. But anyways, all the Bloodletters are done for now. So it's just the double Bloodthirsters left on the field. The Murder Horseman needs to turn off that fire at will, because otherwise you will see stuff like that. Missiles being baited out from the Murder Horseman and wasting the precious missile left. And some friendly fire onto the Furies as well. That was unfortunate. Alright, 4 Javis and one final volley, half a final volley from the Changebringers here. Just trying to burn down some remaining HP from the Exalted Bloodthirster. Oh, more Javelins coming in. They're down to their last couple volleys, but they're accumulating some nice damage. The double Bloodthirsters are down to their last half. Both are down to their last half an HP bar left. All the Changebringers are out of ammo. And same goes for these Javelins on the Murder Horsemen. So 2 more volleys of javelins left for the entire Siege army, and they still have to deal with 2 Bloodthirster down to their last quarter of HP. Can they do this? Do they have enough melee troops left to finish the job? Kara's Fate Weaver is extremely dangerous in terms of their HP level, down to the last 1600 HP left. He should have more blue fires left in his back pocket. Yeah, here comes another blue fire, this time onto the Exalted Bloodthirster, and it's extremely hard to dodge blue fire, especially with such a large hitbox. Thomas will not dodge it. Like, he's just gonna take a bunch of HP damage, and but yeah, Bloodthirst, though, really nice in boosting the speed of the Exalted Bloodthirster, trying to catch up to Kara's Fate Weaver, and trying to land hits, but I think that missed. Alright, this one landed, but there are some Murder Horsemen nearby to pin down the Bloodthirster. Pin down the Exalted Bloodthirster. Kairos is still around, took a heavy hit, but his HP is still... HP and leadership are both positive, and while Khorne's Bloody Fist being surrounded by so many Murder Horsemen and the really nice charge attacks of all these Zandagors, the Khorne's Bloody Fist is going down. And there still a couple volley. One more volley left on these Murder Horsemen of Siege with their javelins, and the Khorne's Bloody Fist is dead. Kara's Fate Weaver is almost dead, but unfortunately Army Losses has caught up with the Exalted Bloodthirster, and that shall be GG. That shall be victory to the Siege kiting. And yeah. Victory to the Changer of Ways. GG to both players. Very valiant attempt from Unlucky Spotify to take on the Kite build, but unfortunately, Kite build is just too strong. I mean, the double Bloodthirsters did a lot of damage to the enemy cavalry, beat up the Knights of Lances, some of the Zandagors, and almost killed Kairos Fate Weaver. But unfortunately, there's not enough mobility presence on the Khorne side here to deal with so much javelins and the Changebringer firepower as well, just burning down the Bloodletters. And yeah, I assume Doggy might have seen... well, they played the match before, so yeah. Obviously, Doggy's more static army build was not capable of handling the rush like that. So, Doggy has changed their strategy going forward to a much quicker, more agile, more mobile build with all these... with basically full cavalry and flyers. And Khorne's infantry heavy build was just not able to catch up and get in a fight against the Siege army, and basically got kited to death. Very nice game from both players, but unfortunately for Unlucky Spotify, his build was completely countered by Doggy's Siege kite. And that shall be GG, that shall be victory to the Siege army. Alright, next up we have I think next up is the final, which should be played between Doggy versus I have no idea who this name is. Okay, while we are waiting for the players to hold on, is CT who is this? Oh, it's Curio. Okay. Alright, we're waiting for Curio then. What is the map for the finals? Okay, let's hop in. Alright, and turn on the screen blocker. There we go. One final game for, well, final game for the tournament, but we do have quite a few replays left in the back pocket, so we are gonna go through those after we're done with the live casting. But before that, I'm gonna take a quick toilet break. Be back in a couple minutes. Yeah. I assume they're not gonna be done with their army builds that soon, so we should have a little bit of time left. Oh, hello. Well, I'm back now. Okay. Hope everything's going fine here. Yep, sorry, I was just going for a toilet break and left for a couple minutes. But now I'm back and we are ready. Yeah, we are ready for the finals of today. The finals of this new player Conquest mode tournament. Between Boba Chicken or Curio versus Doggy or Lyle H4 here. It is going to be a best of one. And it's going to be another Greenskin versus Hinge rematch. And this time, Greenskin still going with Archer Heavy. This time with 4 Orc Arrow Boys. I like this approach here. And the Rucklugs Armored Orcs, or whatever it's called. Okay. Let's check the, yeah, I also grabbed the snack. Just to keep me sustained until I get time to make some dinner. Now, Rucklugs Armored Orcs with 4 units of Orc Arrow Boys here, a lot of firepower. And also, on top of that, the big gun here. Ooh, this is an open map too, so it is going to be really nice for a long-range firepower like that. And a ton of boys with spears and orc biggins as well. Once again, seeing orc biggins to protect the back line, but not having any mobility is a main concern on my side. Like, there's nothing to contest with all the mobile elements, all the Furies, and Thanagors on Siege side, but we shall see what happens here. For the leadership of the army, Gorbat Ironclaw once again looks like Courier really has a liking, really taking liking to this tactical orc. Other than that, for the supporting elements, we have the Night Goblin Big Boss with once again Squig Hurt Summon with a potion of healing for himself, and also the Giant River Troll Hag with Spirit Leech and Spirit Leech only. Now, for the Siege side, a bunch of Furies, a front line of Marauders, and a couple Thanagors here. And we are seeing big beasties, fighting big beasties today. A Mutilative Vortex Beast with the double Mortis engine. Double Mortis engine effect to nearby units, and also more importantly, the disorientated effect does reduce enemy melee stats and make them fight less effectively while boosting their own troops with the what is it called? Gift of Mutation. Now for the leadership here, we have a Chaos Sorcerer of Siege with Blue Fire and Siege Firestorm. Haven't seen that spell in quite a while. While Lord would be a Chaos Lord of Siege. Oh no, he's so over it. He got the best unit right now. Right, low. Yeah, Mutila Vortex Beast. One of the best. Honestly, one of the most impressive models. Ooh, wow. I didn't even realize they have tentacles just poking out of the ground around it. Like it's such a heavy focal point of warp influence. You see it affects the nearby surroundings as well, with the tentacles poking out. It's such a cool piece of honestly, like as much as the game itself not being optimal, I never give shit to the art department, honestly, just because it's really fun. They always make some really fun models and stuff, but yeah. Anyways, now let's get the battle started. Get them by the food. Alright. A big rock versus a big flesh. A big blob of rock versus a big blob of flesh. Let's see who wins. And the big blob of rock misses its first hit, failing to draw first blood. That was quite unfortunate. Now, Blue Fire has been launched to retaliate and start doing some damage. Oh, actually, interrupting the shooting animation of the big rock. Alright, let's chuck another rock here and see if it hits onto the Mutila Vortex Beast. And also doing some collateral damage to the Marauders of Siege, but most of those damage were blocked by the Vortex Shield, the Siege barrier. That was quite unfortunate. It needs a second rock to break through it. Let's see if it hits. It hits the Marauders of Siege, not the Mutila Vortex Beast. Quite that was not great. But yeah, perhaps it would be a good time for the Orc Airboys to focus on the Mutila Vortex Beast. Yep, it seems like some of the archers are turning around. Some of them are facing towards the back to shoot at the Chaos Furies thing. But yeah, something needs to be done to deal with the Mutila Vortex Beast, because it has jumped right into the backline and disrupt some of the Orc Airboys. And more Chaos Furies jumping in. The Orc Airboys should be able to handle themselves in battle, but they are the ones getting charged, so they're not exactly having an upper hand here. While the front line as well, the Orc boys are holding back the tide of Marauders. Orc Biggins are turning around to try and get rid of some of these Furies, so the archers can start firing again. Oh no, the Giant River Troll Hag, what are you doing? Why are you taking a fight against the Mutila Vortex Beast? I guess what you need all hands on deck, I guess. But these Orc Airboys need to turn around and start shooting the Mutila Vortex Beast. But at least the Orc Biggins have pushed back some of the Furies. But these Orc Biggins, they got their eyes set on the Senegals, but disregarding everything else around them. And the Furies will be recharging them. Over here, though, the Thanagors have taken a lot of attrition in the middle of the fight, being pinned down by the Squig Hurt Summon, and the Rugless Armored Orcs have taken a huge hit from the enemy mobility and has been routed. And some more nice rear charging coming in from the Dynacores here, trying to work down the Orc infantry protection here. But overall, the Orcs are getting a slight upper hand in the balance of power, as some of the Orc airboys are being secured and start firing once again. While the Siege army has taken a lot of attrition in the initial flanking charge, the Orcs are fighting back hard, and also Orc airboys, they are not any kind of flimsy archer. They are decent enough in melee themselves, though they have been disorientated and got a little bit of a melee stat debuff. The regular ones manage to hold their own and secure themselves, while the Mutila Vortex Beast is just taking more and more damage. Getting shot by arrows, fighting the giant river Trohack, who is just slapping the Mutila Vortex Beast's ankles with her meat bag. And Gorbet Ironclaw getting some work done, I assume. Getting some okay damage. But yeah, the Mutila Vortex Beast is just absorbing so much arrow fire, it's just gonna die soon. And yeah, that is probably gonna be GG for the Siege army here, as the Orcs are getting an upper hand for sure with the sheer amount of firepower. Just shooting out everything Siege is throwing at them. And yeah. Blue fires are being spammed right now, but a little bit of friendly fire onto the Mutila Vortex Beast. As you can see, there's a Warflame effect on it, meaning that it has been hit by the Warflames of the blue fire. And yeah, GG. Hack wins most of the time. For some reason, and wait, what? Hack actually wins that fight? I did not know that. Man, I'm a bit out of touch, but I thought Hack versus a dedicated melee monster would lose that fight. That makes no sense. GG though. The Hack actually wins the fight. And getting some really solid damage done against the Mutila Vortex Beast. The archers did okay, I guess. But a lot of value, 1,000 value from the 8-peak loonies with the spinning loons just going through all those enemy Zangors and Marauders. Very nice damage, I assume, from the spinning loons. And Gorbet actually did alright, just hacking the ankles of the Mutila Vortex Beast. Yeah, GG to both players here. Chaos Lord of Team tried his best to hack down the Biggin, but unfortunately him alone is not quite enough. And yeah, the rest of the army wasn't quite able to hold their own weight. Especially the Dynacores being quite expensive, but being forced to fight some decent melee combatants, the Orc airboys in melee, and on top of that the Orc Biggins just slicing and dicing through all those large targets, lightly armored large targets. It was quite unfortunate for them as well. GG to both players, and congratulations to Curio for the win. And that is gonna be the end of the live replays of today. Actually, let's just jump back right into the battle. I feel like I missed a lot of details of the fight. And yeah, GG and congrats to Curio for the win of today's tournament. And I think there should... I don't know if they're still alive. I don't know if the games are still live on the advanced player tournament here. Because Tequila Sunset should be casting a battle. Yeah, casting the Conquest battle, advanced player tournament live right now. So, anyways, we shall see here. Just want to quickly rewatch the front line and rewatch some of the battle a bit, because I feel like I missed a lot of details in the fight. Now the 8-peak loonies got a really nice cast of the spinning loons, going through the Dangos and another unit of Marauders, getting some nice damage. While the Dynacores and Furies jumping in. Oh, that explains why one of the Dynacores died. One of the Dynacores didn't get a lot of damage done. They just charged into the Orc Biggins and was fighting some anti-large combatant with very strong weapon strength. Over here, really nice summon of the Squig Herds, pinning down the Dynacores here, and then the Orcs boys with spears just coming in to help. And Rugluk's armored Orcs took a lot of shock damage from the armor-piercing charge of the Dynacores, but then they were trying to fight back, and the Furies also just failing to take down Orc air boys for a decent enough melee fighter that even if you have a disruption unit trying to interfere their shooting, they will just hold on. And Chaos Lord trying to just take on the big end here, and it did some good damage, but unfortunately, Mutila Vortex Beast taking a lot of damage and also getting smacked by the Giant River Troll Hag. The hack maxing here. Man, the Giant River Troll Hag really getting the shit done on the Mutila Vortex Beast. Man, I feel bad for the Vortex Beast. 10k HP and then just getting smacked by a 8k, only 8k HP, okay, never mind. Getting smacked by a meat bag of 6k HP, 5.5k. And yeah, that was just unfortunate for the Mutila Vortex Beast. And the archers just hold on. Now, that's why Orc Airboats is actually surprisingly good. They have decent enough missile strength. They are an archer, but they have a missile strength of a crossbow. They just do some really nice damage if you get enough of them. The Orc Daka, man, the Orc Daka. Yeah. Most of the damage of the hack would have been the Spirit Leeches, probably. Yeah, that's probably most likely, honestly. But yeah, even Gorbat Ironclaw got some good damage against the single entities. Oh, he's going. Oh, that's why he was going in against the big end, who has been going in against the Chaos Lord, who has been smacked down to half health by the big end anyways. And then Gorbat being boosted by the Ys just keeps hacking. He just keeps going, just keeps hacking at the HP of the Chaos Lord of Siege. Oh, that's why he died. Okay, yeah. Just getting double teamed by all these single entities here. Not quite. I mean, he is a powerful fighter with anti-large, but yeah, even then it's just too much for this Chaos Lord. One last strike, and he did. Oh, he died just as the game ended. All right, that was a good, fun game, and yeah, we have replays over here. Oh, we have I think we have 6 replays, 6 replays. Okay, this we've seen this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 replays, unless I'm missing something. Let me just check. Oh, we don't have the Dark Elves versus Dwarf replay. Yeah, okay. Wait! Goblin Hewers! Alright, that is gonna be a fun one, as soon as you see those, axe-throwing machinery here. But alright, Doggies Siege versus Saturn's Dark Elves. That's probably gonna be a quick one. We might fast forward this one. No offense, but I think Saturn, once again, not bringing any caster is going to be a big mistake, and this puts him in a big disadvantage, especially against one of the most brutal spellcasting factions in the game, Siege. That is going to be a rough one for sure. Alright, army build. Once again, similar build to the melee focus build we've seen. A lot of Harganev Executioners and a lot of Bleak Swords. This time also some Black Arquebusiers and a whole line of Dark Shards and some Dark Riders as well. Leading the army, only Loki Felhot with no spell support. He does have his helm, right? Wait, you bring Loki Felhot but not bring his helm. Okay, this is also a mistake. Loki Felhot, his biggest selling point is his passive heal, the Kraken Helm. The Helm of Kraken. Not taking him kind of like goes against the point of bringing Loki Felhot. His dueling abilities are nice and all, but nothing beats healing, really. Now, for the army builds of the Siege army, a lot of Furies and Screamers. Once again, a front line of Marauders, second line of Blue Horrors and Pink Horrors, and a leadership of Chaos Lord of Siege and a Chaos Sorcerer of Siege with Blue Fire and Blue Fire only. Ooh, some Tentacles on the flank as well, and we shall fast forward here. Oh, there's also a Reaper Bolt Thrower from the Dark Elves, but they left it completely unprotected, and the Furies are just going to dive down and finish it. More Furies jumping onto the Dark Shards and try to disrupt them. As you can see here, very nice control of the mobility forces from the Siege player flanking around, getting to the enemy back line. Dark Shards are trying to turn around and fire, but they're not going to kill. Oh, they're shooting at a single entity. That is not great. Because the Tentacles are in front of them and are just running straight into the Dark Shards and finishing them off. Bleak Swords and Black Corsairs are trying to get close. Ooh, the Dark Riders got showered by all these Warp Flame and just died and routed, I assume. And Black Corsairs and Bleak Swords will try to cut through the Marauders, but they are going to hold on for a little bit while the Blue Fire bombards the enemy, the Dark Elf infantry formations, and the Tentacles are in position to deliver devastating rear charges coming in right into the backs of all these Bleak Swords, and they're just gonna get hacked down to pieces, even get quickly routed with that rear charge. Some Bleak Swords are able to get onto the Pink Horrors, but the Pink Horrors, with their Siege barrier and also decent enough melee stats, they'll hold on for a while. Until the Tentacles are able to just come in and for the rescue and try to hack down some of these Bleak Swords. Blue Horrors have used up all their Warp Flame and will be moving into melee instead to intercept these pursuing Bleak Swords. Pink Horrors are too close to fire, but yeah, I don't think that is going to be a main problem right now, as the Marauders are still holding on just fine, delaying the enemy infantry advance. Bleak Swords are just having a hard time getting through enemy infantry fast enough. Harganeth Executioners will be trading really well into the Zangors with the anti-infantry and armor piercing, but the Zangors are just buying time for the Pink Horrors to just keep firing. So these Pink Horrors needs to move around and start firing at something else, because they are not firing, not getting line of sight onto the right stuff and start firing. Anyway, some Dark Shards are able to come back, but Screamers are gonna go over and chase them down. The main problem right now are these Harganeth Executioners slicing and dicing through the enemy Marauders, through the Siege Marauders, and Siege doesn't really have a good solution against them other than rear charges with the armor piercing units. But the Tentacles are a little bit too busy dealing with the enemy backline and just running down Black Corsairs. Although blue fires, consistent blue fires from the Teen Sorcerer might be a good idea to slowly work through the health of the Harganeth Executioners. Some of the Pink Horrors are turning around and starting to fire. Hopefully they should be able to get some work done on the Harganeth Executioners, while the Blue Horrors sacrifice themselves to delay for their demonic brethren. Over here, Loki Felhard was dueling the Chaos Lord of Siege, though both sides took some damage, and unfortunately Loki Felhard, not having the Helm of Kraken, was not able to heal up the damage he took. Harganeth Executioners pushing on into the Pink Horror backline, and the Pink Horror are indeed disrupted, not able to deliver a lot of damage right now, but they're still, I think they have guard mode on, they probably have guard mode on and are still firing while in melee, which is good. Making use of the ammo and their most effective way to do damage, while over here Bleak Swords are slowly fading away, as they are not really demonic fading away, but they are getting whittled down, attrition down in these kind of melee combat and getting recharged by Screamers and whatnot. And on the far side, Tentacles running down some tattered Black Corsairs, having overwhelmed those armored infantry. Pink Horrors are being surrounded by Bleak Swords and slowly cut through by the Harganeth Executioners, and will be disintegrating the demonic instability, forcing them back into the warp. But Dark Shards, Dark Elves only have melee troops left, while the Siege army still have a lot of blue fire potential and a bunch of rear charges available from the Tentacles on the far side. So we shall fast forward a bit and see, a nasty bolt of change, nuking down a bunch of Harganeth Executioners. That's like a quarter of their HP gone. On the sky, over here, Chaos Lord of Siege getting caught by Loki Felhard, dreaded duelist, juicing up his melee stats and getting the upper hand in the melee fight. But unfortunately, Lokir, without his mount, is only a foot lord and can't really chase after the Chaos Lord of Siege, who is on a disc and can freely extract himself from a fight whenever he chooses to or when he routes. So, Harganeth Executioners still trying to clean up some of the enemy Marauders, but getting bombarded by blue fire and taking some nasty damage as well. And then the Tentacles charging into these unbraced and tattered Harganeth Executioners, they will be ran down while the siege army trying desperately to hold on to whatever resources they have remaining. But the psycho charging of the Zanagors with their impact damage with the charge bonus and the armor piercing is working through those Harkonnens executioners very steadily. On top of that, blue fire just slowly chipping away at their health. And yeah, I think that is going to be GG here. Fast forward a bit more, and with more blue fire, just kind of spell kiting the Harkonnens executioners here. But yeah, another sandwiching charge from the Zanagors and the Screamers. The Harkonnens executioners breaks, and that shall be army losses. GG to both players, and let's have a look at the army performances. Zanagors really did all the heavy lifting here, just running down the isolated Dark Shards, chasing off the tattered Black Arquebusiers, and psycho charging down on those Harkonnens executioners. Harkonnens executioners killed a lot of Marauders and Blue Horrors and whatnot, but unfortunately those are kind of their cheap chaff. So even if they got so many kill counts, they were not quite able to earn back their worth. And the Dark Shards totally did not carry their own weight at all, being shut down by the Harkonnens executioners. No, not by the Zanagors and Furies, without anything to protect them, without anything to intercept the enemy mobility. And yeah, Lokia fell hot, getting 1,285 gold worth of damage value, mostly because he did a lot of damage to the Chaos Lord team, but that's about all they did. And yeah, quite unfortunately here, like, this is a I think this is definitely an army that can use more mobility help. Like, don't bring Harkonnens executioners. Yeah, they seem to be really good, but just bring some more mobility to count. You need mobility to counteract the enemy Chaos Furies. To like when Furies or Screamers or Senegals are trying to dive your backline, you need to send over those, maybe something more Dark Riders, maybe more Cool and Knights even, to just countercharge them and try to pin them in place so that you can buy more time for the Dark Shards to keep shooting. Though I don't think Dark Shards is great into the siege matchup, but if you really want to bring Dark Shards, that's what you should do. Yeah, heavy infantry unfortunately is just not great in the game, just because they don't give you much agency on the battlefield. Missiles and mobility gives you the ways to wrestle battlefield control, wrestle initiative, able to force your opponent to react to them. But heavy infantry mostly just have to sit there and take it if your opponent has elite mobility for cycle charging or has missiles to shoot, because they can't catch anyone in the fight they want. They need a fight being handed to them, either by opponents making a mistake or by you setting things up properly, like using a net ability or something, so that they can catch up. But yeah, without those tools, they're just not quite able to earn their worth. Alright, Orcs versus Greenskins versus Kislev. We have Burials once again, going with Gorbat Ironclaw. Are we seeing more stat buffs this time? We are seeing an Orc Shaman and a Goblin Big Boss, a regular Goblin Big Boss, not a Night Goblin. So and 3 Orc Spears, 3 Orc Biggins, Savage Orc Biggins, 1 8 Pig Loons, and what else? Broken Tusk Mob and Savage Orc Poor Boy Biggins. Moon Howlers who cost fear, and also more Savage Orc Poor Boy Biggins, and that's a lot of Savage Orcs. Gorbat Ironclaw, and what else? Goblin Wolf Raiders. Alright, supporting items are they need stabbing from Goblin Big Boss, and where's the Orc Shaman? Come on. Wait, Night Goblins, quick hoppers. I was not expecting that either. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Orc Shaman with Here We Go and Fists of Gork. So, supporting combo from Gorbat and Orc Shaman, his best friend. For the Kislevite warriors on the flanks, a front line of armored Kossars, and a second line of Kossars. Oh, just one lone Kossar spear, not even second line, just one lone Kossar spears. A bunch of things in the woods and Akshina ambushers. at the far back. Leading the army, Frostworm with an Ice Witch on top, with Death Frost for direct damage, and Ice Maiden's Kiss for AoE to thin out enemy blobs. I like the Death Frost into Greenskin, just because they don't have any way to deal with these kind of direct damage, unless they bring out a self-healing character like the Giant River Trollhack or Grom the Paunch. But, well, neither are on the field this time, so Death Frost constantly onto the Orc Shaman, for example, would be very effective in killing it. Anyways, Armored Kossars are holding the line against the enemy's Savage Orcs and all that. Ooh, no Frostworm, you shouldn't be jumping into the Savage Orc Biggins. Damage are being dealt. Nice spinning loons onto the enemy formation here, thinning down the Armored Kossars and Kossar Spears. While on the flanks there, Savage Orc Borba Biggins and the Night Goblin Squid Hopper is trying to envelope these Kislevite warriors, but they are Kislevite and they will be unbreakable with Fire Out Blood activated. Things in the woods though, they don't have Fire Out Blood, so well, they can't be unbreakable and they can actually be routed off soon. But are these okay? These are just unbreakable. They're not, they're wavering, but unbreakable. They're holding on for now, and they will holding on for another 20 seconds or so, 15 seconds, 13 seconds or so. Yeah, overall, the Greenskins are getting a lot of buffs right now while getting turned on. The Orcs are the best. Here we go, choosing their melee attack up to 100. I don't think that's definitely an overkill, but whatever floats your boat, right? Whatever looks the most fun. Yeah, they are trying to hack through the enemy formations here, but the Armored Kossars are holding on. They are definitely the shield walls of Kislev, and they are holding on for now. Not the Kislevite warriors though. Our blood worn off, and they are now buckling. And now these Savage Orc Bagans, the Night Goblin Squid Hoppers, Orc Boys, and these Goblin Wolf Raiders and Savage Orc Bagans are all able to just break through this flank and start wrapping around and start running some rear charges into the Kislevite back line, running down the enemy Akshina ambushers and shutting down their firepower. More Moon Howlers are coming in from the other flank as well. Although the first line of Savage Orc Biggins and Orc Spears are getting pushed back. That was unfortunate for the Orcs, but they will come back at some point later. But yeah, the mobility-wise, the Greenskins are heavily investing into those components, and they seem to be getting some decent work done. Epic Loonies as well, managing to win the fight against the Armored Kossars. Did they manage to use another stack of no, only one use of the Loons of the 8 Peaks? So yeah, something has been done to help them out against the Armored Kossars, and they are now wrapping around, collapsing on the one flank onto the center part of the Kislevite formation. One of the Akshina ambushers, they're trying to fight to the death, but that means they are just gonna stand there and getting slaughtered to the last man by those Savage Orc Boy Biggins. While the Zarina Katarine, oh, this is Zarina Katarine, that's not any Ice Witch, that is the Zarina herself, but either way, she is surrounded by anti-large armor-piercing cavalry, so she's still gonna take damage whatsoever. And yeah, this is not great for the Kislevite. Their front line is still holding, but their flanks are breaking, and they're breaking hard, meaning that the Orc elements are able to get a rear charge, getting a wrap, getting an enveloping the Kislevite infantry there. More spells coming in from Zarina, from Katarine here, blasting some of these Night Goblin quick hoppers, but with only these infantry left on the field, and Zarina Katarine getting quite low in health. Ooh, double teaming. Our character is double teaming Zarina as well. Zarina is in a bit of a pickle. The spears, Kossar spears are trying to help out, but they can't really burst down single entity characters. So it's gonna take them some time. Both Akshina and Bushers are offline for now. One of them is completely killed off. The other one is also occupied in melee by Savage Orc Boy Biggins. They are anti-large, but they're still a very powerful melee unit. And Akshina and Bushers, they're just decent melee fighters among ranged units, and they're getting shredded in melee combat. So yeah, it's all down to Zarina Katarine and her Kossars, which I don't know if that's gonna be enough here. Balance of power is definitely in the Orcs' favor, but Zarina, if she can get some terror routes going with the help of the Armored Kossars grinding down the enemy troops, might still have a good chance here, but we shall see. As they are out of mobility, wait, where the fuck did all the things in the woods go? I didn't even see them doing much in the fight. We'll check it out later. Oh, things in the woods over here are getting chilled up by the Night Goblin Squid Hoppers. And Savage Orc Brigands are now moving on, trying to go after Zarina and Katarine. Let's fast forward here, as we're in a bit of a grinding phase. Just grinding down the last bit of armored crystals, while Zarina taking more and more damage from those anti-large units. He managed to tear out some of the big guns here, both Savage Orc Boars and Savage Orcs. But yeah, Greenskins have no problem cleaning up the remaining armored Kossar inventory here, especially with Earwiggle boosting their melee attack. Not unfortunately, it's on the routed unit, so the Earwiggle the Earwiggle was moved away from the main blob. But either way, the armored Kossars, being very much tired, they don't have much. They have much less armor left. While the Savage Orcs not having any armor at all is not affected at all by the figure in terms of the armor levels. Weapon strength is still the same as well, so they're just smashing up those armored Kossars, and with that, army losses hit, and Zarina Katarine also taking way too much damage in melee fights against the greenskin anti-large troops and the characters. I'm just gonna jump back into the battle again just to check out what did the things in the woods do. I totally missed out what they did in battle. So just gonna quickly check out what were they up to in the early game before everything died out on their side. Alright, let's fast forward. Alright, we are watching it in fast forward. Oh. They're just staring at each other, but oh no! They got thrown into a fight against all these Savage Orc Biggins! Oh, that's why they died so fast. They don't have much armor. Yes, they have physical resistance, but that doesn't help a lot against the massive weapon strength of the Savage Orc Biggins. And the Savage Orc Biggins are capable of beating up the Kislev warriors and the things in the woods anyways. Not necessarily at the same time, but I think with while juicing up their attack and weapon damage, I don't think that's a big problem for them either, even if they are being double teamed and they're just collapsing on things in the woods, being thrown into melee fights against things that they don't want to fight. Oh, being thrown into a fight against broken tusk mobs. Yep, that's probably why they died. That was quite unfortunate there. The front line of the Kislevite held, but their flanks are severely lacking. If the Ashina ambushers were replaced by Griffin Legion, probably it would have been a slightly different story. But yeah, the flanks are quite weak for the Kislevite army in this battle here. And Zarina got stuck in the middle of a bunch of Orc Boar Biggins for too long as well in the early game. So down to less than half health at the 3-minute mark. That was unfortunate as well. Oh well. Just never send your Frostworm against anti-large cavalry. Anti-large armor-piercing cavalry. I mean, they're better than before now, but they're still not that amazing, I don't think. Alright, Orcs versus Khorne. And yeah, it's mostly Orcs. One lone goblin among all the Orcs as well. Funny. Alright. What about you again? Kurio versus Unlucky Spotify. Kurio really feeling like breaking the Biggin and the Broken Tusk mob today, and also Gorbet Ironclaw. Once again, we have the Greenskin Trio Orc Shaman with Fist of Gorg. Here we go. Goblin Big Boss Gorbet Ironclaw with the Great Leader this time, plus 10 melee attack and defense. An even better version of Rapun's flag of the Fleur de Lis banner. Orcs are the best for more attack and weapon damage. A front line of Orc Boys and Orc Biggins and Night Goblin Fanatics. And also the Apic Loonies. So a lot of spinning Loonies over here. And a second line of Orc Biggins. 5 of them in total, including one in the front line. And then further back, Broken Tusk Mob leading the army. Well, we've covered that. The Biggin is already chugging rocks, and I think he missed his first throw. Wait, no, he did hit something. I don't know what he hit, but he did hit something with a 97 gold value. Like, I don't see any missing HP. So, he must have hit something. Oh, he probably hit this. Arbo the Undefeated. Okay. For the Khorne army of Unlucky Spotify, Chaos Furies, and then Arbo the Undefeated YOLOing himself into the middle of a bunch of Orc Biggins. That is not great. He has less... Oh, he got hit by, they need stabbing, so he is now down to 90 armor, and which uses up some of the attack from the Orc Biggins here, who doesn't have a lot of armor piercing. The rest of the Khorne army is just severely lagging behind a line of Forsaken trying to breach through enemy light armored infantry, and a bunch of Minotaurs of Khorne here, the regular versions, infantry armor piercing, and on the far side Blood Crushers. So a lot of armor piercing damage, a lot of anti-infantry damage, but no dedicated anti-large. So let's see how they are going to take on the Broken Tusk Mob and the Biggin. Furies are being sacrificed and thrown onto the Biggin here, just trying to buy some time for these Forsaken to close in and start charging into melee before they take too many hits from the Biggin's rock throws. Arbo is trying desperately to get out of there, but he's already down to his 60% HP. Getting stuck too long in the middle of Orc Biggins here. He needs to get out of there. Stop throwing your Arbo into the middle of your enemy formation. He doesn't have enough mass to push through all these Biggins. Orc Biggins are quite heavy on their own. Forsaken charging into the Orc Spears and Epic Loonies. They need to throw in... Oh, okay. Epic Loonies fighting Marauders should be fine. They need to start using their Epic Looney spinny stuff though, and start whittling down the enemy infantry presence. Oh no, Arbo the Undefeated, he's so gonna get defeated. He's just plunging deeper and deeper into enemy formations. He's balls deep in there and fighting in the middle of a bunch of anti-large infantry. Gorbat Ironclaw is on him, Orc Shaman is on him, Waz has been turned on, and I'm sure, and here we go, yep, here we go, juicing up all that melee attack. Arbo is gonna get slaughtered in this one, but at least he's like disrupting all these, capturing the attention of all these Biggins and the characters, and the Forsaken are able to breach through the Night Goblin Fanatics, who I don't think were able to use any of their spinning loot. Okay, and on top of that, Minotaurs of Khorne crashing into the Epic Loons. Oh boy, this is gonna be bad for the Greenskin front line. And but yeah, there's a lot of Orc Biggins, and I don't know how the Khorne army is gonna deal with that. The Orc Biggins are no slouch in melee combat at all. In fact, they're very elite. 84 melee attack with all the buffs going on right now. And also, don't forget about the +10 from Gorbat Ironclaw. So yeah, they're just fighting on against the Forsaken just fine. Just smashing through their HP, and also the Biggin is also getting some good damage done. Forsaken duking out against the Biggins, but they are kind of losing here. Yeah, the Forsaken just not getting an upper hand against all these Orc Biggins. Minotaurs trying to get some rear charges going on, I guess, onto the Biggin here. But they are not the anti-large variant, so they're not specifically good against the Biggin. At least on this flank here, the Minotaurs and Forsaken are punching through the AP Loonies and whatnot, but the Orc Biggins are here with Fist of Gork, getting that +24 attack and defense. Blood Crushers have managed to overwhelm the Broken Tusk Mob by double teaming this one single Orc Boarboy Cavalry. Sword of Khorne right onto these Orc Biggins, trying to thin out their ranks, and have successfully done so. But the problem is that they don't have a lot of good answers to the Biggin here, other than surrounding it with Minotaurs and Blood Crushers. None of them are dedicated to anti-large, by the way. And over here, Orc Biggins have managed to push back the Minotaurs and Forsaken, despite down to only half health. And the Epic Loonies are still around. I don't think they can use any of these Loons of the Epic though, with less than 25% HP. But they are still unbreakable and they are still fighting. Over here we go once again, this time onto the Orc Biggins here, and they're just gonna slaughter these poor Marauders with the help of the Biggin here. Minotaurs also taking some... Minotaurs and Blood Crushers have been taking attrition damage, fighting in the middle of a bunch of anti-large Orc Biggins here, so they're getting whittled down. Balance of power is in favor of the Greenskins, and Gorbad Ironclaw is just chasing off some Minotaurs on the far side, and things are looking very nice for the Greenskins. We're just gonna fast forward here. I think it's gonna be clean up phase. Minotaurs and Forsaken are still trying to beat up whatever melee units they can get their hands on, but they're just slowly but surely taking attrition every time they go into a melee fight, even against some tattered Forsaken. And then there's still a very, very much healthy the Biggin here, standing still. So yeah, there's just nothing to deal with this big hulking piece of a rock. That is just gonna curb stomp everything on the field. Especially with the Minos and the Blood Crushers all being very much tattered on the field. So yeah. Really liking the Gorbat and Shaman buffs on Biggins and double big boss for the enemy lord debuff. Actually, that is a very good point. The weapon damage and attack buffs on the Orc Biggins makes them way more deadly with their high weapons. They already have high weapon strength for an infantry unit. Just that their stats are not the most insane, but if you just add a bunch of buffs like Fist of Gorg, here we go, the Orcs are the best, and of course the signature Wa. These Orc Biggins are doing a lot of heavy lifting here, getting a lot of damage done against the enemy, even against the enemy armored infantry. The Forsaken actually lost out against some of these Orc Biggins. And the AP Looney's got one nice use of the spinning loons, I assume, but almost died anyways. And yeah, very nice use of the melee buffs combo. I really like it actually, but also quite unfortunate for unlucky Spotify there, throwing in Arbol and kind of letting him die so early on in the game. Like, he probably was the best bet in killing in killing the Biggin there, but without him, yeah, it's gonna be rough. And Blood Crushers, unfortunately, just being stuck. Blood Crushers and Minos were forced to fight a bunch of Biggins, since half the army of this Greenskin is just Biggins. So Biggins on pigs and Biggins on foot, and then just one giant Biggin. So yeah, just not great for the Minos here, and nor is it great for the Blood Crushers. And yeah, that is gonna be this game. Next up, we have Kislev versus Teen. Yeah, we haven't seen this. Okay. Alright, next up we have Kislev vs Siege. Let's go through the army builds here. For the Kislev army, we have a front line of armored Kossars, second line of Streltsies, and a third line of regular Kossars, fighting the bow and arrow support with sheer volume of firepower, winged lances at the back, 3 of them in fact, and leading the army is an Ice Witch Tempest with a Hailstorm and a Gust of True Flight to get more range and accuracy, I assume, for the Streltsies, and Blizzard. On the other side for Siege, a bunch of Chaos Furies and a line of Marauders of Siege and a second line of... Wait. We have a Chosen with Halberds here. Regular Chaos Warriors with Halberds and some Zangors and also Zantagors. Flying in the sky is Kairos Fate Weaver with Siege Firestorm and Blue Fire. That's it for army builds on both sides. Let's just run through this marching phase. Nobody's really doing anything other than positioning their army, trying to slowly approach that capture point until they clash. Now, Streltsies already opening fire at Kairos Fate Weaver, quickly knocking out his shields. It's much harder to dodge gunpowder firepower, so against aerial targets, gunpowder is definitely a great choice. Now the Streltsies are turning around to blast those Marauders, but they do have that bronze shield to nullify some of the incoming damage. Now in the skies, the Furies are moving in place ready to jump on some of the Kossars, who are now launching arrows upon enemy formations. Some of the Marauders are already taking some damage, and Furies are diving down onto the Streltsies, silencing them and also blasting them with blue fire. Winged Lancers are coming in to kill off the Furies, but the Streltsies are still being occupied for now, unable to fire at the enemy infantry, who are now getting into melee combat against the Armored Kossar front line. Furies are all committed. One of them is dead and fading back to the warp. But with the Winged Lancers occupied elsewhere, Thundergors are able to just jump onto some of these Kossars and just knock out these Kislev firepower and infantry, while the Chaos Warriors with halberds are still duking it out in the front line here, using their armor piercing to nice effect against all these armored infantry. Yeah, Winged Lancers are still occupied by the Chaos Furies here. These Thundergors, unfortunately, though, trying to extract themselves from the fight, but are taking a lot of damage in the process. These Thundergors also being bombarded by the Hellstorm. Unfortunately for Siege, their front line is slightly faltering. Marauders are breaking. They're not the sturdiest. They're not the most reliable infantry after all, and are starting to take quite a bit of damage. Kairos is still flying in the skies, dropping in blue fire here and there, I assume. But the Thundergors both are being pushed back, being routed, and might actually be chased off the map, with the Winged Lancers being committed to hunting them down. Now, the blue fire spam is on, and it's definitely trying hard to whittle down the rest of the Streltsy units here. The Chaos Warriors with halberds is going to be a bit of a tough nut to crack for the armored Kossars, but they still have a lot of firepower left. What are these Streltsys doing? Why are they moving up? Okay, they're moving up slightly only, not entirely into the enemy formation, so okay, that's still fine. They're still standing back and are now shooting the hell out of these Chaos Warriors with halberds. Kairos is on the ground and trying to disrupt some of these Kossars and using more blue fire, but he's on the ground, so the angle for the blue fires aren't the greatest. Now, Kislevite has taken the control over the battlefield, but not the capture point. Capture point is in the hands of the Siege army. And let's see if Siege can hold on to it long enough for them to secure victory. But right now, the Armored Kossars are winning the frontline fights. The Marauders are all buckling, and they're not going to hold on for long, even if they're still fighting. Streltsies are being disrupted, though, so that is the only good news, as they are not focusing on to Kairos Fate Weaver with their firepower. If this unit of Streltsy turned around to Kairos Fate Weaver when he was still busy fighting Streltsy, Kairos would be in big trouble. Chaos Warriors are still fighting in the mix. Chosens of halberds are being targeted heavily by all kinds of firepower and also the Hailstorm bombardment. Archer fire as well. Ooh, this is gonna be a nasty blue fire. Okay, not too bad. Just some damage, but nothing too insane. So the Streltsies are still holding on and just keep firing at these poor Chosens, who are being worked down half health now. Balance of power is more and more in Kislev's favor. And I think that is going to be GG here, as the armored infantry of Kislevite held on against the Marauders, and the armored halberds of Siege just got showered with bullets and arrows and just got pincushioned to death. Yeah, unfortunately, the mobility that was trying to disrupt the enemy backline just suffered a lot of losses when they're being countercharged by Winged Lancers and getting shot by the Kislevites. Even if they get into a melee fight, Kislevites can hold their own in melee, even if they're a ranged unit. So they managed to just stand still and hold on long enough for the Winged Lancers to come in and finish off the backline disruptors. And Streltsies did some okay damage. Same goes for all the hailstorms from the Ice Witch of Tempest. And the Armored Kossars really held on in the front line. While the Marauders, the Dangles just failed to break through, failed to break down the enemy formations there, and just not had a great time trading against the Winged Lancers. Especially the Dangles as well. Just they were charging into an infantry unit, meaning that they are open to a countercharge from the enemy Winged Lancers. And got hit hard by the charge impact. Okay, next up we have okay, we have not seen this. Okay, Orcs versus Kislev in the semifinals. Kurio versus Pasha. Kurio once again going with the his classic Gorbet trio. Shaman, the War Boss, and Gorbet Big Boss, and Goblin Big Boss, and Gorbet himself. Gorbet going with, I assume, once again, his melee army buffs. Let's just slow down the battle and check out the character loadouts. The Great Leader, really good +10 attack and defense. Orcs are the best, providing that plus 50% weapon damage and plus 24 melee attack, and then Orc Shaman with Here We Go and Fist of Gork, and then we have the Goblin Big Boss with They Need Stabbing, our front line of 8-peak loonies and Orc Spears, second line of Orc Bagans, once again going with those very powerful melee combatants, and a whole line of mobility. Broken Toss Mob, Savage Orc Boar Bagans, Goblin Wolf Riders, and Night Goblin Squick Hobbits, 3 of them in fact. On the other side of the battlefield for the Kislev, going with a more narrow formation, a lot of expenses invested into the Frost Worms, double horse archers, a main formation of armored Kossars, and some more elite infantry, Zorgard armor piercing great weapon version, and Watchmen's of the Night, armored Kossar regiment of renown with their frostbite attack, frenzy, immune, rebel rouse to give surrounding troops immune to psychology, frenzy, and light war slats for a little bit of kiting power. Now the character core is a patriarch with healing, horse bat. Oh, no healing. Oh yeah, well healing. No Song of Winter Sunlight, so no Vigor Refresh, but instead Taurus battle him for that attack buff. Zarina Karen with another Frostworm on the side as well. Zarina Karen herself on a Frostworm with Ice Maiden's Kids and Heart of Winter. So quite a bit of AoE damaging spells. Horse Archers are kiting, while Goblin Wolf Raiders with their Bronze Shield will try to push them back, and preventing them from doing too much damage to the Savage Orc Bagans. Are the Goblin Wolf Raiders facing the right side? Wait, no, their shield's facing the wrong side and took a burst damage from a bunch of Horse Archers. Now they're moving out again, trying to push back the Horse Archers. Now let's go into a bit of fast forward. Both sides are trying to position themselves into a better location, and now the light war slats going in for a charge against the Epic Loonies, getting some really nice impact damage, but they themselves getting hacked through a bit there with the melee attacks. Orc boys are closing in. They do have more HP than your regular human unit, so combined with their shields, they're not taking a whole lot of damage on their way in, and then the Savage Orc Bagans are also getting there, almost into charging distance. They need to start charging, but they're just kind of lagging behind a bit. Oh, they're trying to get through the gaps of the formation and get into the second line of units. But anyways, the Orcs are pushing, and they're pushing hard. A little bit of an 8-peak loony spin, and I don't think that did much damage, unfortunate. Just the direction wasn't the greatest, and the Orc Spears are engaging armored Kossars. On the far side there, cavalry are trying to hunt down the enemy. Oh, what? No. The light cavalry are trying to go after the enemy Horse Archers there. Some big hoppers managed to catch some of the Horse Archers, while the anti-large units, anti-large units and Savage Orc Bagans, Broken Tusk Mob, Savage Orc Boar Bagans are all trying to go after these isolated trio of Kislev characters. The Kislev warriors are trying to support, but they themselves are quite occupied by Broken Tusk Mob and Savage Orc Bagans, and are taking a ton of shock damage, already down to half health in a few seconds. While over here, Savage Orc Bagans, who did receive the +10 attack and defense from Gorbet's the Great Leader, they should be able to hold on okay against the Kislev troops. So 8-peak loonies, of course, they're unbreakable, so they will hold on till they die to the last gobble, and some Orc boys manage to get a surround onto the armored Kossars. Goblin Wolf Raiders being pushed back, but these guys are still should be able to just keep the pressure onto the Horse Archers here, while the Kislev warriors are getting slowly, they are getting crushed by the overwhelming force of Orcs, and mostly Orcs, just really. And over here, Horse Archers are getting pushed back by the Night Goblins, Squick Hoppers, and Night Goblins, Squick Hoppers in here are going in for a rear charge onto some heavily damaged Zargard. Wait, shit, how how did they take so much damage? Oh, that's probably the Savage Orc Bagans are just better than they thought, and just keep cutting through the HP. Anyway, anyways. Heart of Winter onto this blob of Orc troops, but they're trying to push through and get out of the range of the ability, but they're just taking a lot of damage now. Heart of Winter getting into the third stage, and the full damage is being dealt to all these Orc troops. But even still, they were not able to finish off the Orc Biggins, who are still fighting on strong. And the the greenskin characters are going after the Patriarch. The Patriarch is being forced back and leaving only the Double Frostworm in the fight. Darguard and the Watchmen of the Night are taking more and more damage. The Darguards now are being almost dealt with. Yeah, a Wa has been popped. Okay, then the Night Goblin Squid Hopper is getting a recharge with the anti-infantry armor piercing attacks, getting some really nice damage done. While the Horse Archers, they were not able to outrun the Greenskin Light Cavalry forever and were being pushed off the map as well, leaving only pretty much the Double Frostworm in the fight. The Watchmen of the Night and the Kislevites Warriors are still holding over here, but they're being surrounded by Savage Orc Bagans, who are surprisingly good so far. 1,000, almost 200 gold worth of damage value. They have earned back their worth and then some more for sure. Yeah, they have been doing a really good job. Just hacking through all these enemy infantry, even if they're an anti-large unit, just because they have so much weapon strength, honestly. Almost 50. And yeah, they're smashing through those Kislevites infantry. And now the Greenskin's characters can now focus on the enemy characters now. Another Taurus battle him boosting all these, boosting the Double Frostworm and the Patriarch's melee attacks. But there's a lot of anti-large troops here, and the Frostworms are slowly but surely being attrition down. Watchmen of the Night also, oh, they were forced to fight Night Goblin Squid Hoppers as well, who does do anti-large armor piercing damage, and are definitely attritioning that down. One Biggin fighting the Darguard also sat around Gorbat's aura most of the time. Yeah, that is true. I'll actually have to jump back to see the stats of the Darguards and the Biggins under those buffs, because I remember Darguards doesn't have that much of an elite stats. They're like humans, but slightly more elite, so they don't have crazy stats. And that plus 10 attack and defense might have made enough of a difference in that fight too. But anyways, the Double Frostworm are chewing through the Goblin Big Boss and the Orc Shaman, but they are also taking a lot of attrition damage from all these Savage Orc Biggins and Orc Spears. We shall fast forward here. Gorbat is still very much healthy, and there's a lot of anti-lot troops on the field. Savage Orc Biggins are coming over to help, and with the plus 10 stats aura, they should be able to do some pretty good work here if they are just standing still and fighting the Double Frostworm in an attrition. Now, Darina Kettering can still cast some more Ice Maiden Kiss to try and blast through the enemy infantry, but she only has so much Winds of Magic here, and once she's stuck in a prolonged fight in the middle of a bunch of Savage Orc Biggins, boosted by that plus 10 attack and defense, she will get hacked down as well. Almost 3,000 gold worth of damage value on Darina Kettering with all the spellcasting and melee fighting, but unfortunately still not quite able to carry the game here. And wow, 1,110 gold from these Kislevites Warriors. What happened to you guys? Were you just sitting in the middle of a bunch of Squid Hoppers and Savage Orc Boarboy Biggins and just keep profiting, I guess? But yeah, the rest of the army not quite able to earn back their own worth, especially not the Darguard. That was quite unfortunate there. While on the other side for the Greenskins, yeah, the Savage Orc Biggins did. this one did an impressive work. The rest, not quite. I mean, this one did okay, but mostly the Orc Spears, and the Savage Orc Biggins just fighting, surrounding those Frostworms there, and yeah. And the Savage Orc Biggins did some really good job as well, fighting some large targets with their armor piercing and anti-large. Wow, Gorbat did some really good work. Okay, I did not see what Gorbat was busy doing, so I might, yeah, let's jump back into the replay again and see what were they up to. God damn it. What were they up to? And then after that, one last replay, and then we'll be ending this afterwards. Okay, I shouldn't have stayed up till like 5 in the morning playing games and stuff. God damn it. All right, let's fast forward. Okay, the Savage Orc Biggins, because they also have Frenzy. They have 60 melee attack and 35 melee defense. Damn, that's a lot of melee attack. Yeah. While the Zargards have only 36 melee defense. Yeah, that's not even close enough. While if the Savage Orc Biggins have 35 melee defense, that is actually enough to make them close-ish to the melee attack of the Zargards. I guess the anti-infantry bonus still applies, but that does help them. Oh, right, I forgot. Savage Orcs have 25% physical resistance. That means they take a lot less damage from the Zargards. Yeah, that helps a lot. I think. Yeah, let's fast forward here. And the Zargards were trying to fight. Oh, they had their attack orders on the Orc spears, and they were not actually attacking the Savage Orcs. They were trying to pursue the Orc boys, and they were not attacking the Savage Orcs, which is why they're also just trying to you can see the models themselves are trying to push through the enemy infantry formation, but at the same time they're not attacking, and they're just taking a lot of attacks on the side. That is why you need to have yeah, that is why you need to be really careful with your attack orders, because otherwise your units might just have a movement order trying to go after a retreating enemy unit, while they themselves are being attacked by an enemy unit, actual enemy unit in the front line. So, and the Gorbet Ironclaw was just busy chasing. Light war sleds, and he actually managed to keep up. Okay, to be fair, the war sleds aren't that fast, but Gorbet is also not that fast if he got frostbitten. But anyways, yeah, he managed to hunt down all these light war sleds all by himself. Damn. And that put him onto 900 gold worth of damage value. And then he just came back to fight the double frostworm. GG. Okay, that explains why the Zargards were just dying so fast. Because they had a movement order. They had an attack order on a retreating unit, so they went into movement mode instead of fighting mode. And just keep getting free hits from the Savage Orc Biggins. That was unfortunate. Okay, one last fight. Dark Elves versus the Dwarves. Let's see if Saturn can get a win against the Dwarves this time. We shall see. Alright, for Saturn's Dark Elves, it's gonna be 5 Black Corsairs, yeah, Bleak Swords, and 3 Mahogany Executioners, and some Dark Riders on the flanks, ready to flank the enemy formation. But and also Reaper Bolthor trying to pick off enemy missiles, pick off enemy artillery, like the Goblin Hewers. But Goblin Hewer are ready. And on the other side, for the Dwarves, oh, and also Loki fell hot. Still no Helm of Kraken, quite unfortunate there. For the Dwarves, front line of Miners with Blasting Charges mixed in with Dwarf Warriors, Goblin Hewer in the second line. Akron's Miners is there as well. Rangers on the flanks and Organ Guns. A lot of artillery with a lot of burst damage. An Organ Gun with their multi-shot artillery managed to just work through a lot of HP from these Dark Riders, but they are getting into charging distance and trying to flung themselves onto the Rangers. But they need to actually ignore the Rangers, walk around it, at least send a couple units walking around it, and get onto the artillery instead. And because they are getting absolutely obliterated by the artillery, and also the Rangers are no slouch in melee combat, decent enough, 26 melee defense, they can hold their own against the Dark Riders for a while. And wait, what happened to Loki Felhat? Okay, let's just restart the battle. I think it's the Goblin Hewers. Let's just restart the battle. Goblin Hewers probably just deleted Loki Felhat. Alright. We need to witness Lokia Fahad getting hewed by like a goblin. Now, he's walking in. He's walking in head first into these goblin here with like insane damage. Insane burst damage. He's just walking straight into the range. Here comes some deadly hewing. Look at all that. Oh, immediately a quarter of his HP is gone, and that's only the first volley, and there's more coming in. More goblin, especially it's point blank, so it's gonna be even more accurate, and half HP gone from Lokia Felhad in an instant with all those axes thrown in his face at point blank range, and he is just gone. He's just gone like that. All right, we're back to where we quit the battle. So now the Bleak Swords and Black Corsairs are trying to get an engagement going now, but Lokia Fahad immediately deleted by Goblin Hewer. And Dark Riders also getting stuck on the Rangers and getting blasted point blank by the organ guns will be routed as well before the Reaper Bolt Throwers can even do too much damage to the Dwarf Artillery. Now it is just a melee grind for the Dowies to win. I don't think these miners are on guard mode, so they're not throwing blasting charges, which is a mistake. You always want the miners on guard mode on, so that even if they go into melee, they can still maybe perhaps have a chance to throw out their blasting charges. But anyways, I think we can fast forward this, as it is just going to be a straight up melee grind. Green skin, Dark Elves versus Dwarves. And the Dwarves definitely have an upper hand here because they have they are a sturdy line of armor, while the Bleak Swords don't have much armor, and they don't have much armor piercing either. Although Black Corsairs managed to breach through some of the defenses here. Oh. But Lokia Fahad will probably get slapped by Thoric. Oh, okay. Okay, that big mistake from the Dwarf player. They didn't manage to get most of their blasting charges out. Ekron's miners, not even a single blasting charges has been thrown. That was quite unfortunate, and now the Hargan Executioners managed to like... actually the Dark Elves are winning this one. As the Hargan Executioners and Black Corsairs just plowed through the armored front line with the anti-infantry bonus, and for the Hargan Executioners, armor piercing. Not much to see at this point now. I think it's just a straight up melee grind, which the Hargan Executioners will win. I mean, there are still some organ guns online, but here comes the Black Corsairs to finish them off. And yeah, that was going to be GG. Yeah, I think the Dwarves would have had this one if they managed to use their blasting charges, but alas, they failed to do so. And also maybe the Goblin Hewer, the memes have cost them a lot. Anyways, that is going to be the end here, and that is going to be the last game for today as well for the whole stream. Thank you everyone for joining me on this Warhammer Conquest Mode tournament for new players hosted by the RTK clan. A big shout out to Big JP for inviting me to cast this tournament, and congratulations to Curios for winning the tournament. And yeah, GG to everyone here, and I hope everyone enjoyed the tournament, whether you're playing or watching. And that shall be all for today. And yeah, I need to get myself warmed up and get more practice games in and refamiliarize myself with the meta. I'm a bit out of touch right now, so yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get another stream going next week, but I'll try to get more frequent content posting from now on. But yeah, so stay tuned on my channel. And yeah, I hope you all had a great time with the tournament, and yeah, had a good day or a good night wherever you are. And actually, not much to talk about in terms of army value. It's just the Hargan of Execution is plowing through the Dwarf front line here, and the Dwarf front line unfortunately not using much of their explosive charges, wasting most of their damage potential. Goblin Hewer though deleting Lokia Felhad, that was quite hilarious to see, but yeah, too much investment in artillery, I'm afraid, and not enough in the front line to hold back the elite infantry. But yeah, that is going to be it for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Tactical Lich, signing out.